First of all, Joe, listen, mute gang, man. That's all I got to say for you first. Mute gang.
Hey, look, it is what it is.
Joe, the mute gang,
cool.
the mute gang was it, bro. That was the stuff.
Bro, it was funny as hell. I'm telling you, my family is roasting me in our family group.
I mean,
you
deserve
making
it.
memes, doing all this shit. Like, no. That's why, like, I'm like looking at my phone, laughing, and I forgot that I was even muted. But you know, it was all a learning experience. I had a blast on the broadcast today. I'm,
Joe,
blessed to be able to have that experience.
By the way, Joe, Fan is down for an interview.
All right, bet. Tell us after come on.
I just told him now that he can come. So
yeah.
Harris, do you have box scores?
I have box scores that you can.
It's on the website.
You just use the box scores that are on the website. The only extra box score I have is the Kings game, and I don't know if anybody actually wants to see that box score because I think it features one of the worst games of Mama's career. Shout out to Zay, man. I think I was the only person to really talk about Zay on the broadcast, but he was the number 6 overall pick for a reason, and he looked the part today, man. He's really, really good.
Hey, man, shout out to Mavs game, man.
You know what, though, Harris? I think that's something we have to talk about, though. Because especially the fact of, let's be real, Mama really didn't play the game like that in all season. You see, like, and again, this is something people try not to say in the beginning, like, oh, it doesn't matter. This is multiple seasons in a row where the correlation plays as, unless you're, like, literally the 1%, like a Bread or, Rhea, etc., where if you don't play the game in the offseason, usually it doesn't translate well to the league because you start off slow, a little rusty. But not even just that. Other players are just getting better than you because they're grinding and they're putting in the work. It's the same thing that you see in regular sports. I'll be honest,
I think this Kings team, a lot like last year, looked at their team on paper and came into the year really, really cocky. And I think that they themselves overlooked, A, how insane their group is, B, how insane the entire West is, and also just that, like, man, it's hard to win a lot of games if your backcourt has nobody who can really move. I mean, look, if anybody watched the GenG game tonight, it's a perfect example of the kind of guard that will always succeed in the 2K League. All right, Gallo had like 8 turnovers. He was awful for like 3/4 of this game. And then the fourth quarter started, and that man, the number 1 overall pick, second game of his career, just dropped his nuts. I mean, he hit that crazy shot for the win. He had a couple great plays down the stretch, getting Feast the ball. I mean, but he was able to do all that stuff because he's able to break down individual defenders off the dribble. And you watch that Kings-Mavs game back, man, Mama can't get around Zay. The only time they were able to get around anyone is when Ant was matched up on the non-lock. And, like, that's a concern. We can always talk about how good guards are, but at the end of the day, you got to have stick now because the guards really don't move as fast as they used to. I mean, those old 2K League guard builds, man, you could just hold down right trigger and go left, right a little bit and get around someone. You can't do that anymore, man. You need real combos. So I think they need to go back to the drawing board and try to figure out a little bit cleaner of an offense because this ISO game that they've done the last 2 days, it ain't working.
Yeah. I mean, listen, this is what I have to say about these games tonight. There were some point guards that looked great tonight. There were some point guards that looked horrendous tonight. There was some it was crazy how, like, there is a skill gap at the PG position. Like, I don't want to hear any, like, 2K, conspiracies because there's always a conspiracy every year of something. Like, that doesn't exist in my opinion because there's always a conspiracy. I just want to kind of knock that out because, like, we saw the difference between, like, the skill gap between PGs. Maybe I don't know everything, but based off what I watched in these first 2 days, like, I don't know if there's like a way to develop some kind of conspiracy around anything. That's just something I want to kind of get rid of that before that kind of happens. Like, I feel like people are going to start saying, like, oh, the home has this or away. I don't want that to happen this year.
I still think it's way too early to even be able to say that. Like, again, especially from a fan perspective, you don't know. Like, I've heard multiple, like, rumors about certain things that could be there, but I think we need more time to be able to know.
We need more data,
for
sure. We need more data. And I'll say this also, a really impressive part of, I think, a lot of the guards that have looked really good this year, I think the biggest skill I've seen the point guards really need to have besides dribbling, playmaking off the dribble. The ability to make some sort of, like, fancy dribble combo and then ping somebody with a pass. Fanta's looked really good so far the past 2 games of breaking down the defender off the dribble, getting it to open space, playmaking off that dribble, and hitting an open shooter. And a guy who I think we all were pretty surprised when he even got picked. You go back and watch that Nets game tonight, man, and Tate's shot wasn't really falling, but he still ended up with like 13 assists and 1 turnover. Like that's how you win. That's how you win in this league. That's how you buy into a role and realize, like, hey, this part of my game isn't working. Let me shift to something else to get my teammates involved. He was really good tonight. I mean, obviously the doctor dropped 30 plus because that man.
The doctor,
man. He's
the doctor.
This is why I'm high on the Nets. Like, I think they have 5 guys who are all really going to buy into their role, and in an Eastern Conference that's open, that's going to win them games.
So just to give a stat line on that, since we can start with Nets Grizz, so I know that's one of those games, and I know there are a lot of storylines that we can potentially hit on. So yeah, you talked about Tate. Tate had, for those who might not know, that's he got game. Tate had 7 points, 12 assists, 2 turnovers. He shot 2 of 9 from the field, 1 for 7 from 3. Of course, the doctor, aka Faiz, had 32 points, 5 assists, 3 steals on 12 of 16 shooting, 8 of 12 from the field. And we can go down the line. Shots, he did his thing. The same thing with Streets. I mean, that whole Nets team, it was a team effort all over. I can go through the box score, but
I actually posted the box score up top there, Joe. So now you can actually
see it. And I'll just say this, man. I already disagree with the Grizz roster decision. I don't know how you watch what Spartan did all offseason at center, and put him at lock. Like, I get it. They don't have like a lot of other options on that team. I get it, but like, you can't put arguably the best player on your whole team at maybe the 5th most important position in the league this year. You just can't. Like, it's just, they're losing. So, like, you saw tonight, man, he ended up getting rebounds. He was making assists. Like, he was playing, like, he was making plays. Like, he's the best player they have on their team. And it's kind of a shame to see him at lock.
Yeah. Good. So,
no. Go ahead.
And like is J-Rod really that bad at lock that they can't put J-Rod at lock and put Spartan back at power forward? Like, is he really that bad that, like, they just can't play him there at all? I don't know.
Yay, Fab, of course, you're a veteran in the league. You might have a little bit of insight. Chris, congratulations on your first win. Same thing with you, Yay. Please, if somebody wants to speak.
I'm about to say, like, kind of like the J-Rod situation. I know that Lane came into the season saying that they might need him to play lock, and the fact that he didn't come out of the gate on lockdown means they must have been running scrims. He must be getting ate up, and this just didn't look right. I know A don't want to go back to lock, of course, but it's kind of tough. At this point, I think what's the harm in it? You're 0-2, and every game counts. So why not just put, like, at least your 5 guys at the best position possible, or your 4 guys at the best position possible, and just see what you can do. Especially having like guys like AA and then Spartan in your front court, I think they'd be able to make it work. At least some plays, just more plays. But I don't know. They got to do something.
Yeah, man. But to be fair, I don't think you can blame it all on J-Rod. I mean, BP shot 3 for 11.
It's the collective.
He shot 2 for 6. J Money shot 8 for 16, 4 for 11. So they're having horrible shooting woes. Let's be fair. Their guards shot horrible yesterday. They continue to shoot horrible today. You can't really blame it on J-Rod when J-Rod actually went 3 for 5.
This all comes
2
back,
for 3
though,
from
Joe.
3.
Joe, this all comes back to the Vandy situation. You traded Vandy for BP, and look at the turnover. Like, again, I get it. Listen, they had, like, I know Vandy, like, I'm sure he was requesting trades out of there. Like, I know, but like, they traded for J Money. Like, I like me and Harris. Our initial response to that was just why. Like, out of all the people all the moves they could have made this offseason, their first move was to bring in a guy that, like, just came off a really bad year. In the past has wanted to play PG, and I feel like now what's going on with BP at PG playing like this, I would not be surprised if in these upcoming games we possibly see J Money go to the point guard position now because of what's going on. So, like, go ahead.
No, go for it, Champ. Sorry, I thought you were done.
Yeah, I'm good.
No, I wanted to switch the convo back to the Nets because I want to talk positively about a team. We've talked very negative about the Grizz all offseason. I feel like let's focus on the Nets. Can we focus on how
I just
the Nets
didn't want to
have
give
had-
J-Rod slander because, look, the blame is definitely not on him. I wanted to personally come out and say that. You can't blame somebody for that if your guard is shooting like ass.
They've played 2 games that got blown out of both. It's not just J-Rod's fault. But I want to focus more on the Nets because I still think one of the biggest surprises of the Season 5 draft was how far Steez fell. And it didn't make sense to me. He is the exact archetype of a guy in this league who goes in the middle of the second round, veteran guy, has played everywhere. And you heard in that listening, man, he's bringing the energy, he's bringing the leadership, he's bringing the call outs, he's telling to push and he's a second coach out there. And it was really, really impressive. And, for the people who are listening who kind of want to understand, what does it mean to be a professional player in the 2K League? Just watch Steez every time he is on broadcast because that man knows how to play this game right. And it was really impressive to see him lead this team. Shots isn't the loudest guy. Neither is Doctor. And from what I hear about Streets can get pretty intense, but he's not a very vocal guy. So somebody on that team had to step up, and it was great to see Steez, remind us this is why this is his 5th season in the league. There are a lot of dudes in this league, like Duke's Gaming Man, Majestic. This is his 5th season. Seem this is his 5th season. These veteran man, they know what they're doing out here.
I mean, can we just talk? Another positive person I want to talk about is what Polo is doing. Dude.
All right, let's go game by game though instead of jumping around this.
Sorry,
we can have a little
bit.
That's
why I want to talk to Steez because I thought that whole Nets performance tonight was really. Impressive.
I will say this. I mean, dude, I think right at this point, Faiz is feeling it. Again, I think we expected. Chalk always had high praise of Faiz or Faiz, however you want to say. I'm just gonna say the Doctor. Okay, that sounds better. I mean, he had high expectations. I mean, I know we heard a lot of murmurs, Harris, of him and shots going crazy, but man, that Nets team, they went from a team that I was all right, maybe they'll be a 5th or 6th seed. They might be a top 3 seed at this point, in my opinion. If I'm going to be honest with you with that Nets team,
top 3 is bold. I think a lot of it's going to have to do with Tate.
Yeah, I think exactly. No, I 100% agree with you, Harris. It's really they're going to go as far as Tate carries them, and what I've heard is he's come a long way, and to see his continuous development throughout the season, that's going to be key. But it's nice to see what they've done so far. A big shout out to OG, a big shout out to Chris, a big shout out to that entire Nets organization, because it's a lot of work, especially with the adversity that they've had to deal with. Let's be fair, they had to draft their team pretty much all at the end of the draft, and for them to be able to find gems late in the draft to help them still find some sort of success. Granted, it's still early. They've only played 1 game, but you have to give them praise, especially when most people thought that this team was gonna, let's be fair, they were gonna be ass.
It is just the Grizz. So let's see what the Nets can do in game 2.
A lot of it has to do too with chemistry, and you'll see a lot of these teams that start off hot that end up having some sort of miscommunication or disagreements, and then they're the ones that end up tanking towards the end of the season, ruining their entire season because of egos and being uncoachable. I'd like to see mid-season.
That's how I'm at the Hawks.
If you can do me a favor, Dan, I believe your mic is a little bit low. So if you can kind of
my fault, I might have had my finger over it. Is that better?
Yeah, so much better.
Oh my God, yes.
Sorry about that. I said that these teams start off hot, and I think chemistry is going to have a lot to play into that. And the teams that are hot right now might have some miscommunication. Egos might get in the way. Where we've seen teams start off hot and then just completely fall off mid-season, nowhere even where they should be by the end of the season come playoff time. So I think a lot of that has to do with just the team chemistry and working off each other, being adaptable and coachable and being able to change the meta as it's forever changing with all these updates and new builds. And I mean, they're playing on 2K League builds, but I'm just saying it's got a lot to do with personalities as well as skill.
Oh, for sure. And that's exactly why this year, with only having 5 people on a roster, you heard a lot of coaches talking about we want to draft humans. not just the most talented players, because these are people that you have to be with for months at a time. And now it's not like a long regular season where you can take a couple of losses and bounce back. Now, let's be fair. You're losing 2 games in a group stage. You pretty much have to win out and win point differential for you to be able to make it out. If not, you're not touching 5v5 for almost a month. And even then, your playoff hopes are almost shot already. So there's a lot of pressure on the line for these teams, and I don't think it's really hitting as much. I mean, even in the community. But we'll see.
And some of the 2K League coaches that I've talked to in the last couple months that are looking for the underground players from organizations are looking for coachable players over talented players. They want someone that's willing to change their meta, change their format, their play style, and be able to be adaptable and coachable. They don't want just raw talent anymore. They need those players that are able to change on the fly and be adaptable.
Yeah, and speaking of being adaptable and coachable players, I just saw that Ball Like Seem just hopped in here. I see, Splash, hopped in here too. Just want to roll off stat lines. We're going to go game by game because we don't want to keep jumping all over the place. We'll hop into Dukes versus Bucks. So Seem had a stat line of 17 points, 10 assists, 3 steals, 1 turnover. He shot 6 of 11 from the field and 5 for 7 from 3. In a 67-58 victory over Bucks Gaming. And now this team that, look, let's be fair, everybody had them counted out. I'm not going to lie. Like, we all thought this team was going to struggle.
I'm sorry, Joe. We all did. I'm sorry.
In the beginning,
I would like to correct this statement. I would like to correct this statement as the only media member in 2K League to pick them to come out of Group B. I was the only one.
You just switched up this past week. No, I'm talking about.
I switched up 2 weeks ago.
Okay, 2 weeks ago. But early predictions.
We heard about them play.
Look, we're falling on the sword. Look,
No. I'm putting my flag on Duke's Gaming. It is so hard. It just doesn't make sense to have 3 guys who have been in the league for at least 4 years, and then Killy, and then you fill in Mario's spot with Polo. It's just really hard for that team to be bad. Like, they might not win the title, but are they going to be good? Yeah, they have all the ingredients of, like, your classic 2K good team, especially when Seem is shooting like this.
Harris, can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can, champ.
Will they be a playoff team? Will Duke's Gaming be a playoff team this
year? You know what, champ? How about this? I think that's a little too early to say, but I think for now it's great to see guys who have been in the league a long time get something good coming towards them.
I just want you to answer the question.
Yes or no, Harris? Yes or no?
Thank you.
Absolutely not.
He's media trained, isn't he?
After 2 days, whether or not Dukes Infinitos are going to the playoffs. I will say this.
Listen,
they're coming out of Group B.
Hey, Seem, if you're listening, that means no. It's code for no.
They get out of. Let's focus.
I was trying to get them on the record, guys.
Come on, I picked them to get out of Group B. Let's see what they do. They got 3 more games left. I'm just saying. It's hard to doubt a team with that much talent.
Well, since we have him here, Seem, how are you feeling after your team pretty much went 2-0 to finish the week? Do you have another game this week?
No, we got the Mavs next week. Mavs and Kings, and we got Mavs and Kings next week.
Ooh,
how you feeling?
Oh, man, bro, like. This shit is like, it ain't nothing, bro. Like, I played a game, bro. I played a game all year. This is what I expect to do, bro. It ain't like I'm some crazy dribbler who just score, bro. Like, I really know the game. Like, this shit just come, like, it's simple, it's easy. I don't care about none of those power rankings and shit before the year. Like, I know what I can do. I know what I can do for the team. I know what my team can do, you feel me? So, that's really what it is.
No, I respect that, man. And you guys have a solid backcourt. Can you tell us what it's like playing in the backcourt with you and Killy?
Shit, I mean, he the shooting guard. I wasn't. Like, I'm not. You feel me? He real, like, as a shooting guard, I'm real quiet. I'm laid back. Like, when I'm a point guard, I really, like, lead. Like, I let him know where I want him to be, what to do. I tell everybody where to go. Shit like that, you feel me? So when he play with me, it's a little different. He be in my area. Like, he tell me he want to flare up. He want to do this, do that sometimes. So it's like, it's good seeing that perspective of things because I never did that. I always wanted my point guard to lead me, tell me what to do and shit like that. So it's just it's good seeing it from a different perspective.
I have a question. So obviously you guys have a last minute sub in because of the situation, obviously with Mario.
Mm-hmm.
What did it like? How quick were you guys able to kind of adjust with Polo in the lineup? Because he looks absolutely phenomenal. Again, I think that you guys collectively as a team have played well, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just Polo being being called up.
I mean,
that's
that's
playing.
that's my pretty good center.
Good.
But you still got to adjust into a new team. I understand,
I
that's
get
his
what
guy.
you're saying, but it's like at the end of the day, the point guard and center are always going to be the most important pieces of the offense, and everybody else is going to feed enough of that. They don't really got to do much involving Polo. You feel me? Just me and him for real. And he good at passing, obviously. So that's really what it is. Me and him already had the chemistry, already got connection already. So it wasn't really no period that we needed to adjust about anything.
Yeah.
No, I definitely respect that. You guys are definitely playing well. I mean, Polo, somebody who was snubbed, let's be fair, with a 18-9-2-1-2 stat line. He went 8 for 13 from the field. So he's definitely doing his thing, showing that he really was snubbed. And let's be fair, the real reason is there were just barely any center spots. So it's nice for him to be able to showcase his true talent, and hopefully he's able to get back in next year. But let's just talk about this matchup, y'all. I want everybody to give their opinions. What did you think about this Bucks Gaming versus Dukes matchup? Do you feel like, okay, Dukes is just a better team? Do you think that the Bucks struggled? What do you feel? Talk to me, y'all.
I'm not gonna lie. It was one thing when they won day one. I was like, okay, you know what? They came out, they kind of just smacked someone in the mouth. But when I saw them beat the Bucks today, I was like, all right, this is real. And again, I know that I've been a person who hasn't really been a believer of their team, and I still am kind of I'm on the border of it. It doesn't really matter what I think, but I mean, in my opinion, I think that being a Bucks team that in day one looked like, man, they looked very impressive. You know what I mean? But you guys came out and you got you did your thing against them, so I have to show my respect to that. So. I mean, very impressive. I mean, there's a good chance that Dukes at this point gets out of their group, and kudos to Harris. Harris was, he kind of jumped on that ship and, sailed. I will give him that credit. But
give me one flower. I don't need a lot of flowers.
Listen,
just
you're,
one.
You're
just
welcome,
one.
right?
No,
Frank?
I think what happened tonight. No, I think what happened tonight. This is something that Joe, you and I actually talked about on stream a couple weeks ago, which is what happens in one of these early tournaments when you take a team that has a lot of young guys on it versus a team that has a lot of veterans on it. And, I feel like the way that the league has trended the past couple years, at least in the tip-off tournament, it feels like those kind of maybe coin flip games, you call them 50-50 games, even odds games, they lean more towards the veterans. And that's kind of why, this Dukes team to start makes a lot of sense to kind of get behind. It made more sense to me because it's Seem, Majestic, and Beezus, before we get to Killy, Seem, Majestic, and Beezus are 2KLeague household names. They have been in playoff games. Beezus was in the finals last year. Majestic has been on some really good teams. Majestic has actually also been to the finals back in season 1. Seem has become one of the better guards in the league. So these aren't scrubs. These are professional 2K players. And then you had Killy in there, who's kind of their game-to-game X factor. And he went 3 of 3 from 3 today, 5 assists. They get 3 of 3 from 3 for Killy and 5 assists every game. They're going to win a lot. It's just a good constructed team who listens to each other. And I'm telling you, man, there's no way that by the end of the season, Beezus isn't going to blow out one of your eardrums. That man is screaming all the time. Every time they show a listening of y'all, he is screaming.
Man, be locked, man. You got to make sure motherfuckers there. You got to make sure everybody hear him.
He's great. I think this team is fun. They have a tough stretch coming up. I mean, and I still think this Warriors team is crazy, but we'll get to the Warriors another day. They didn't play today.
My favorite, I'm not going to lie, because I was running it back not too long ago before we hopped into this. And one of the things, there's this quick touch pass and a fast break. It just looked like, that's one of those things when you see teams really on a break, just, throwing those quick touch passes, having fun, getting creative with it. It shows the true chemistry in my personal feelings. But no, I feel that personally, yeah, I think this Bucks team kind of struggled. And it's just they ran into a really good team. And I feel bad because, like, do we talk about game plan type of stuff? Like, I'm not saying you guys talk about game plan. Us talk about, hey, what we saw. I just don't want to give away scouting reports too much.
Scouting reports, Joe.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like,
Joe, you work for the league now, okay? We can give out whatever the hell we want. Well, not necessarily.
Look, I just
but in
feel
terms of
bad
game
giving
plans,
up,
no, that's our job, Joe.
No,
that's
we want to
our
make.
job.
Also, we don't want to give away the homework. You know, like teams do their own homework.
I definitely want to give away the homework.
That boy Joe don't believe in color commentary, though.
Oh, come on, man. That's
Joe really that guy that, like, he won't give you the
I'll give away all the
exam, bro.
Here's some homework. Here's a little homework for teams out there. I'm sorry, Seem. I gotta tell them. People need to stop letting Seem get to the fucking like T-Mac left elbow fade shot. Like, stop it. He has hit that shot. You've hit that shot, Seem, like 6 times in 2 games. You can't get it past me. You can't sneak it past me. I've seen you hit that shot so many times.
So many, especially late.
You can't, man. I see it.
Relax.
That's why I'm not trying to go into it, because like we just give all of it, and this is just giving teams
stuff.
I feel like that.
No, it's cool. Listen.
That's
cool. It's cool because they gonna overplay it. And I'm gonna go the other way.
And that's what T-Mac did, and that's why T-Mac was a multi-time All-Star. Now, look, good win for Dukes. I don't think it's a huge concern for the Bucks. I think the Bucks kind of showed against the Mavs that they really do have a lot of talent, and that this game they just ran into a veteran team coming off a huge win. Like, this is you see this happen all the time in like normal basketball too, right? You know, young team, big win early season, and then they run into, you know, a team that has, you know, 5-10-year vets on it, and they just lose by 5. You know, it happens.
I mean, yeah, for looking at it, really, they shot 12 for 22 from 3 and 23 for 42 from the field total. So, I mean, they were playing pretty decent, in my personal opinion. Like, Cooks and Johnny, like, they had a little bit of a struggle. Like, they were trying to get certain shots. And granted, like, I understand how difficult it is to shoot on a league build, so especially trying to pop some of those fades and some of those tight windows, especially when, you know, you might only have blinders on silver, maybe gold here. So it makes it a little bit more difficult. But, yeah, I think it was a great battle. I'm excited to see that one again because I feel like the next time we see them, it's going to be even better of a series. But I don't want to kind of keep pushing on this. I kind of want to keep it moving. Is there a game you all want to speak on?
I think we should talk about the GenG situation and the fact that Mr. Irrelevant here is literally pooping right now.
This is also what we're not going to do. We're not going to just make it like a situation where because they're in here with us, we're just going to start.
Guys,
you say what you have to say.
We're missing the biggest. You didn't open with it, guys. GenG won a close game. Like,
yeah. I thought they were going to fold. I'm not going to lie.
Can we really, like, they were losing in the fourth quarter, and they came back and won. They were I can't believe it. They won the fourth quarter 18-14 while they were already losing the game. I can't remember the last time I saw GenG do that last year. And that man Gallo, I don't know. Chris is in here. I know he's pumped to have Zay and Kenny Zeus, but that man Gallo, he good. He can move.
Oh man,
sorry,
dude.
But no, I think that GenG game, it was great to watch. It was great. Like, the one thing that sucks, because let's be fair, this is the second, I guess you would call it like a blown lead by Heat Check Gaming in 2 days. So this is where it's really going to get panic mode because you made all of these moves. You brought in a lot of different rosters. Sad shooting 3 for 8 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3. You have Beast Move who shot 1 for 3. I've never seen Beast Move ever have just 3 3-point attempts in a game. Like, that's crazy to me. Granted, he had 9 shots, but 3 threes?
They have too much season for GenG in them, man. It just, that stuff rubs off, I guess.
I'm just interested to see. I mean, I like what I see out of GenG so far, but I want to see, like, now after what I've seen out of GenG, like, I really do want to see how they match up against like some of those Western Conference teams. Like, I want to see GenG go against like the Warriors, like the T-Wolves and stuff like that. Like, I want to see those games now. Like, that's primetime TV. Like, that's one of the those are the matchups I want to see now. After seeing the way Gallo's moving, that's what I want to watch.
Look, I mean, and like you hit the nail on the head earlier, Harris. And again, for all of the people who are in here, I see like a Yay, Chris, Dan. If you all want to speak your piece, same thing with you, DJ. If you want to speak your piece, feel free to speak up. We don't want it to be just
Oh,
a Champ
hold on.
Harris Joe
He's
show.
a speaker. Mr. DJ, how are you, sir? This is the first time we've gotten to really talk to you. How are you? How are the first two games been? How's your buddy Gallo? What's it like over there in Lexington, Kentucky?
Man, bro. Y'all can hear me?
Oh, you got you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling good, bro. I'm chilling, bro.
So that's
Very
really it.
in-depth
Like you
analysis.
just seem like super, super lackadaisical. I mean, bro, you guys are off to a 2-0 start. This is something you're winning. You're doing things well.
Yeah,
You
media
have
trained in
more
Minnesota.
matchups coming on. Yeah, look, I get it. Len got you guys right. Whatever.
Bro, I'm telling you,
what?
We talked to Gallo once on BFW Live, and he talked exactly like Glenn. And now we have DJ again. Just it's the same thing.
I'm just chilling, bro.
Len, bro.
DJ, I need to ask, bro. You were in the draft, bro. You were selected last, man. Like you gotta and I know that you feel some type of way when you're selected as the last player on the draft. Like a lot of teams passed up on you. A lot of teams didn't really believe in you, but all it takes is one team. You're going out there hooping now. What's is it, like how do you feel at this point? The fact that you were the last pick and you're out here hooping, compared to a lot of other guys that might have been selected above you. How do you feel about that?
I'm feeling good, bro. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching these shooting guards that team said they go take me, but they took these other shooting guards. I'm laughing at them. I'm chilling on some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling good, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Hold on, wait. Fair. I
got a media
I
train,
can
man.
get a good quote out of him. No, I can get a good quote out of him. DJ, you have a really interesting roster around you. Gallo, one thing, but like Don and Feast are kind of the two veterans on your team. I mean, this is Feast's 5th year. Obviously, I'm not saying you're new to the 2K community, but it's kind of different to go from playing like Pro-Am to all of a sudden be playing with, a guy who's won a championship. Don has been in the league for a year. Like, what is it like playing with like professional 2K players versus just guys that you played with in Pro-Am?
It's definitely different because I play with like some kids. Like I play with like two 16-year-olds and shit. So like playing with Feast and know he a championship. Like he talks a lot. I learned from a lot of Feast. I mean, Don ass. I don't know about Don though, but and even Timely Cook though. Like when he came in, bro, that shit was lit. You know what I'm saying? Shit fun.
Timely was great out there. Though I have to know, DJ, I have seen Don has tried that like spin dunk off the right corner at least 4 times. He's tried it 4 times, and he finally got it tonight. Did he go crazy when he finally hit the dunk?
Man, Don was screaming. He was happy as hell.
Of course.
Don be front running, bro.
That was great. Tell us about Gallo though, man. Oh God, here comes Don. Hold on, Joe. Let him in. We might have some teammate on teammate.
Gallo the best PG in the league, man. That's what
I like that. I like that take.
Oh shit, here come Don, bro.
Yeah.
Why you get up to a lion though? What's your problem, bro?
Oh God. Yeah. Don, then you answer for me, Don. You finally hit the spin dunk off the right corner. I've seen you try that so many times. What was that feeling like when you put it down?
I mean, it's like you just gotta make plays sometimes. Honestly, I mean, I just kept trying to. Like, it was gonna work sooner or later, but I missed it the first time, so it was like whatever.
What's the biggest difference between this year's team and the squad you had last year in your rookie year?
Composure.
Ooh, composure. That's a good word.
Composure and like.
Is it on offense or on defense?
It's just all around.
Or both.
Like it's just being used to like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just playing like a scrum. That's it. That's all it was. Like I don't know. That's all I can really say about it.
Do you see that affecting you guys long term?
What?
The composure.
What do you mean by affecting? Like in a good way or a bad way?
Either one.
In a good way, yeah. Because like I mean, we finally was able to close out a game this year. Like last year, like that was just dumb tough. Honestly, it was like hard to close out a game last year.
So, is it official that you guys are no longer the Scrim Warriors?
Oh man,
Scrim G, man.
That's up to like what y'all seeing. Like honestly, like I feel like I don't know. I just feel like it is what it is. Honestly,
Let us say it. Peace out.
Nah, Listen, man. That's what everyone's saying about you, but now you guys are 2-0, man. That's exactly.
I mean,
what
you
people
can
are
ask
saying.
anybody you play in scrims. We play the same. We play exactly how we play in scrims. That's it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, shit, it showed out there. I mean,
Don,
so far.
You and Feast have kind of different roles this
Mhm.
year. Like, obviously, you were kind of moving back and forth last year. Now it's you at the 4, him at the 5. Has that consistency helped you guys this year?
Definitely.
Like, what has your chemistry been like this year?
Like, it's like a relief, honestly. Like, we both get to play the position we want to play at a high level, and like, you know what I'm saying, people get to see like what happens when we both play in our positions this year. So it'll be fun, like watching down the road. Y'all can see and judge by yourselves, but I just know we're gonna come out hooping every game, literally. And that's being like the returning players. Like, we just took a role, stepped up, and became vets.
You guys already cracked the. Oh, go for it, Joe. I'm asking.
Because like you were saying, it's been, kind of day and night, like you were saying, between last year and this year. What has Coach Len kind of been telling you guys and trying to instill in your heads this season to help you, pretty much get past those struggles that you went through last year?
It's a long season. Like, it's just keeping composure. Like he always said, that's the main thing he, like, you know what I'm saying, he emphasizes being composed. Like, it's just a game at the end of the day. Just staying composed, and like you'll see the outcome in the long run.
I got a question kind of for everybody. Is there any rookies that are busts or showing up more than we anticipated?
Bus is an interesting. We're only 2 games in. I would say, in terms of rookies being bust, I would give them at least through the tip-off tournament, like the next 2 weeks group stages, because at least through 5 games we'll get like a real solid look at them. 1 or 2 games, like for instance, if you came off just the first game that the Mavs played yesterday, you would have been like, wow, Kenny Zeus is a bust, Zay's terrible, whatever. And then we watched them today and we're like, oh wait, they're still mega talented and have the ability to win games in this league. So I'll give it a couple more days, a couple weeks for sure.
All right, so since Hesi's up here, so Hesi, it's pretty much, man, look, hey, 2 games are up.
Hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. 2 games are up. It's your turn now. How excited are you to finally be able to play your first NBA2KLeague game?
Bro, I'm so excited, bro. Like, watching from the sideline, that shit was like, I'm happy my team is winning and shit. They're all hooping, bro. But, I just want to be out there. But I'm glad my team is hooping, They got their job done without me and shit. So I'm happy for that, though.
Yo, it's Hesi. Are you like in like a dome?
You said what?
Are you like in a dome, man? There's a lot of echo.
Nah, my food's about to be here, so I'm in the lobby. My food's about to be here.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn, man. But no, listen, man. I'm excited to see the complete roster for GenG. I actually am interested to see, Hesi in the lineup. I heard a lot of great things with you in the lineup, man. It was crazy the fact that you guys were able to still play so well with Timely. Don't get me wrong, Timely's he's an all-time,
Sorry about that. Yeah,
great,
it was like
great player. But
the ice cream thing was down, the this was that, everything was down.
Hesi, question: since you're about to play your first game, what was it like watching Timely this week? Obviously him coming in kind of a funky situation. He comes in, helps you guys get 2 dubs. Did a pretty good job tonight against Sav. Like, did you learn anything from watching Timely the first couple games?
I would say I didn't learn things from Timely directly, but I would say, watching from the sideline to give me like a different kind of point of view of things. So I kind of learned a couple things like in that sense.
That's fine. That's usually where it comes from. Don, did you take anything from the former DPOI?
Say that again.
Did you take any influence from the former DPOI? What was it like to play with Timely?
It was cool, man. Like, him stepping up when we really needed him. Made big plays yesterday also. So, yeah, I mean, it was cool. It was a great experience, honestly. Just coming out 2-0 without, playing handicap, basically. Delayed. We was delayed comms. It is what it was. But, I mean, we pulled through. He stepped up when we needed him.
I respect it. So, we spent a lot of time on GenG. We have a lot of other games to go through. Let's touch a little bit more on the heat check side, and then let's move on to the next game. So, of course, we are celebrating GenG, but unfortunately, a team in this series had to lose. Unfortunately, it's Heat Check. Now they're down 0-2 in group play. So now they pretty much have to win out in that conference, or in that group, I'm sorry, to potentially even have a shot of making it out to tip-off. Do any of us feel that they have a chance of being able to make it out and run the table?
There's no chance. There's no chance. I mean, listen, dude, when you go down 0-2, any team that goes down 0-2, if you can really reverse your, unless it's your easier games, I don't know at this point, I have to actually look at the group. But at this point, I mean, going down 0-2, you're never feeling good about yourself. And I just feel that the hardest basketball is still yet to come. I feel like it's gonna be harder. So for the Heat, they still have to play the Wizards. Did they play the Sixers? I don't know if they played the Sixers. The Heat played GenG.
The Heat played the Sixers yesterday.
Okay, so they played GenG and the Sixers. Okay, they got to go through a tough Celtics defense. They got to go through a Wizards team that I think has a couple games warmed up now. I would have been happy going against the Wizards earlier, but now you're starting to kind of see this team find some type of identity. So it's kind of, I mean, Hawks. Listen, the Hawks are done. All right, the Hawks are already the team that's going to be left out.
Already done. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow,
interesting.
We didn't even get to the Hawks yet, but
yeah. No, I'm just saying, based on that group, in my opinion, at this point, after I've seen enough of the Hawks, that team is in the gulag.
All right. I mean, you hear the analysis from Champ, but how about you, Harris? And again, if any of the players want to, if not, we can drop you down. We'll bring somebody else up. I see Perry wants to speak.
I got a question.
What's up?
How can y'all really tell if teams are done off just 2 games though?
That's Champ 2K for you, baby. That's the bold predictions, man.
That's the bold prediction, Champ.
That's the bold predictions, man.
We look at it more so. I mean, I can't speak for them. I speak at it more so of, hey, you have 5 games to win. So now, especially in certain situations where now you have to win out, not only do you have to win out, but you also have to win the point differential, because that's going to potentially be the tiebreaker when only 4 of 6 teams actually make it out of your conference. When you start to break down percentages, it gets harder and harder for you to actually be able to run the table. Not even to mention the mental aspect of it, of you now being down 0-2. And let's be fair.
Let me say, can I just say something real quick about the Hawks? This is why I think they're done.
I'm not even talking about the Hawks. Chip, we don't even have to go on that. We can stick on that. I'm just speaking on this.
Go. Let me answer this question. Okay. So the reason I think they're done is because, I'm just using the same example. A team that's full of a bunch of people that are all they need to prove themselves. This is a big year for all those players on that team. A franchise that has historically lost a lot, and you come out 0-2 in a tournament like this, I'm sorry, I might have bold predictions, but I saw their facial expressions. I could tell they were mentally drained, and they were distraught. I'm sorry, that team is gonna probably lose 2 more games.
Come up, but
and again, go ahead. What do you have to say?
I was gonna say, bro, the Heat. I thought the Heat is I think they can turn it around, because if you watch the game today against GenG,
they had close games.
They played a lot better. They just to swipe away with yesterday. Yesterday they were flat, and today you can tell it's starting to catch fire. Even though they didn't win today, they played a lot better. So if it starts clicking, they could catch fire, and it could be a thing where they could have went out. It is possible.
I don't think the Heat are done. I think they need Sav to be more. They need Sav to, I guess, make better decisions on the fly, and also, I don't know, man. What I saw from Sav today is that I saw a really good first half of him moving the ball around, getting guys involved in transition. They had so many steals, and I felt like Sav was the guy who was either making the hockey assist or was making the good pass. And then in the second half, he had a couple turnovers and really started to second guess himself, and he got in his head, and it hurt his playmaking a lot. They need him to be aggressive, Sav, but you can say the same thing about the Heat last year and the Lakers before, or I guess the Lakers is when he was aggressive, but they need him to be aggressive.
This is what I'll say about the Heat. The difference is, for them, they play the 2 hardest teams, I think, in their entire group. And also, they had a close game with GenG, and they were doing great against the Sixers in that first half of that game, and they sold the second half. This team is just a terrible second half team so far.
No, hold on. Let me say something. Can
It
you
just
hear
got
me?
better. The game went on today. I mean, they
Yeah.
Go
gave
for
up.
it, Don.
They gave
Oh,
up
hold
that
on.
All
fatal
right. So,
shot. They
all
gave
right.
up that
Hold on.
Look.
fatal
Let
Hold on, Perry.
let
level.
Perry say his part,
All
and
right.
then you done.
All right. Okay.
Their defense is is today. The defense got better in the second half. If you ask me, they gave up that fading shot with time winding down. I think to Gallo, to put GenG up. But I mean, outside of that, they were playing pretty good defense in the second half of the game. Their offense struggled, but they were fine. They were starting to click defensively, and I think that's going to lead them the rest of the way. That's why you take a guy like Dietrich early to get anchored the defense, and it kind of was paying off today, if you ask me.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
All right, Don, what were you gonna say?
I mean, yeah, like they're good. Y'all hear me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, they're a good team, but like first quarter, right? When we about to get momentum, and then like my monitor starts like start tweaking out and shit. So I mean that one time out for like 3 extra quarters like really hurt. Honestly, like that's why it seemed like the game was so intense and so close. We couldn't really like separate, or like we had to play like real careful because it's like game can just switch up real fast. But yeah, we had like one time out for 3 quarters, bro. Like that was just crazy. But they're definitely a good team, though.
I don't think the
Yeah,
Heat
no,
are cooked.
and
I think they have
yeah,
too much talent to be cooked this early. I just think, look, they like Champ said, they ran into probably two of the
I
better
think they
teams in
could
the
turn it
group.
around.
Yeah,
and
I
again,
definitely
I'm
think they can.
prefacing more so of like potentially they're on. I wouldn't say cooked for the entire season. It's not a chalk. It's not a wash. It's like it's not one of those things. But
Oh, I
as
was
far
talking
as
about
this
just for the
tournament,
tournament. I was
yeah,
talking about
this
for the
tournament,
tournament.
they have an uphill battle because they still have to play the Wizards. They still have to play the Celtics. And I'm blanking on the last team. I do apologize. But in the
The
Hawks.
groups are up
So
top. Yeah.
yeah, so you still have 3 other games, and now you have a team that you have to rally from an 0-2 deficit that not only has to win all 3 games, but you have to also blow out all 3 of those teams because right now they're at a minus 21 point differential.
Yeah,
like, again,
we mentioned this a little bit on the broadcast. We probably didn't talk enough about the Sixers, which it was difficult to do, and we can talk about them more tomorrow when they actually play. But the second half Sixers look like the Sixers.
But they have to. You got to remember they have to go against. They have to go against the Hawks, bro. The Hawks are a bad team right now. So everybody's beating them by 20. So if they beat them by 20, that brings them back to even in their point differential. And they just have to beat the Celtics. And they have to beat the Celtics and the Wizards.
Which is another, but they're 2 gritty defensive teams.
Yeah, I was going to say that. But they're just as gritty, though. They're just as gritty.
I'm just saying, but you get what I'm saying. That it's not an easy task. It's not like, okay, it's
the difference in a lot of these games is going to be their point guard play. Sav has to really, play well. Like against a Wizards team where I think Ty is still kind of like adjusting. B. Rich is kind of carrying a lot of that like scoring load until Ty gets more adjusted. He looked better in the second game than he did the first game. I mean, I just think that for the Heat, I think that like that Celtics game is huge. Like they got like I think the Hawks game. I never want to write off a game in this league, but like that Hawks team, it's tough at this point, and that's why like I do look at them as like a team that I don't really think is going to go far because they still got to play against GenG. They got to play against I don't know who else they got to play against. They have tough games I know in front of them at this point. So it's like the tougher games are still in front of like a team like the Hawks, and at this point for this tournament, I'm chalking them off. But the Heat I think can turn it around. I think the Heat are more likely to turn it around.
All right, so we're going to keep it moving with games because we still have more to go through. So do we want to go through Jazz versus Blazers? Do we want to go Wizards, Hawks? Do we want to go Mavs, Kings, Raptors, Magic, or T-Wolves, Cavs?
We might as well just finish with Wizard Hawks because I think that's the last game in that in just that individual group, and then
we got to talk about the Raps. We got to talk about the Raps.
You want to talk about the Raps? All right, let's do the Raps.
Well, I was saying we can finish off with Wiz Hawks if we want to. I don't think that game was honestly that complicated. That game to me was it's the Wizards go up against a very distraught Hawks team that thought they were going to be a lot better than they actually are, and that game was over in the first quarter.
Can I just get your thoughts though on like the point guard play out of Ty though? Like I really need to know like what are your thoughts about Ty so far?
I think he has looked. I think the word I would use is unsure of himself currently, which is totally understandable because they are asking him to be, JVM in a lot of ways. And I know that in theory they're not, but like, I mean, you heard them when they were talking, in their interviews about their potential this season. Like all of them think that they can win the title this year. And that's a lot of pressure And then look, Ty was way better tonight. 13 points, 9 assists,
5 for
5-11
11.
from the field, 3 of 6 from 3. Like, that's what you need. And B-Rich was 17, and he was running his raps, and he was getting over for 3, and they were coming up picks, and they were hitting pick, day fry in the corner. Like, they were doing all this stuff. It looked like a pretty classic Wizards win. Ty can do a really good JVM impression. It's just, again, my issues with Ty is never going to be in the easy, gonna have them wins in the regular season, because the Wizards are going to win. The Wizards are always going to win those games. It's what's he going to do on stage? What's it going to be like in bracket play when Jack became Money Mascone? And that's how we'll judge Ty this season, not based off of him playing the Heat in April. Playing the Hawks in April.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you see the movement. Granted, like, the Wiz play at a very slow pace. They definitely slowed things down. It's definitely more of a defensive team. And, of course, for this Hawks team that's still trying to figure it out, that's probably the last thing they wanted, because they pretty much left C's going 7 for 18 from the field.
Bro, the Hawks scored 5 points in the
4 for
first
12.
quarter. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the Wizards, dude. It's the Wizards.
Yeah.
It's classic Wizards Hawks, or classic Wizards versus any bad East team. Like, they're just going to roll over.
They just, again, you played against a great defense, but still, you need to figure out your scoring period, especially from your guards. You're shooting 7 for 20 from 3 and 18 for 37 as a team.
Well, Joe, what are they going to do? What can they do? And Awkwardini and Dayfry combined for 33, and Ty and B-Rich combined for 30. Like, with their insane defense, like I think those are just two very different classes of teams. One of those teams is a title contender and obviously the 2-time champion. The other one is still trying to find its identity at all in this league. That's what it's looked like to me.
I can't. Unfortunately, the website doesn't have Hawks Celtics, because I'm not sure if their shooting woes were any better.
It's even worse. It's that box score is happily not on the website. It's not pretty. Unless you're a Celtics fan, you love watching a front court put up like 54 points in a game, which they did, which is unreal, man. I've never seen a front court score that many points in a game. I mean, they were. I think Cold had 18, Bully had 18, and Tazo had 16. That's crazy. That's nuts.
But yeah, just getting back to it. Let's be fair. Does
Raps,
anybody
please.
know what the Hawks? You just
Please
want
talk
to
about the
on?
Raps. We don't want to talk about.
Let's talk about the Raps.
Let's talk about a team that's really, really, really fun. Cham and I both said this at the start of the year, that we didn't know if this Raptors team was going to be like good, but we knew that they were going to be really fun and really chaotic. And they have been everything that we could have hoped for. They are so fun. They are so aggressive. They are so chaotic. What a fun team!
Right,
it's so much fun to watch. Dimes at center, he's owning. It's great.
Bro, let me tell you though, there's like
this
was a team I think that was important that they started off well, just for like composure and keeping this team like the morale high. I think the fact this team starts out 2-0, it makes them a scarier team, makes them a better team. Them starting off better.
I like that take. That's a good take.
Like, I just think that was so key for them, and then coming out here, going 2-0, and again, listen. I know Joe. Listen, me and Joe were watching the stream, bro. It was the Red Sea in the chat, man. It was crazy.
I love that Raps fan base, man. It's so great to see them alive again. That was great.
That was crazy. I was like, bro.
The worst thing the rest of the league could have let happen was the Raptors fan base, who was already big, add Fanta to that team, and now I think this probably has the biggest fan base in the league. I don't think
you could argue,
who else is
Joe,
going to beat them.
Aren't the Raptors kind of like the Dukes of the East in the way where it's just like a bunch of dudes who have been in the league for a really long time, plus like one crack shot rookie? Like, I mean, Type, Dimes, and Kenny have 15 years of 2K League experience between the three of them. Then you add Insane, who's been in the league for 3 years. And now you add this like fun guard. I think we overlooked the Raptors a little bit in the preseason just because the Dimes at center thing was so weird. But man, what a fun win! I'm so energized by their win. Like, that was so awesome.
Now, again, are we overhyping the Raptors? Because, again, their last 2 games were against Grizz Gaming and Magic Gaming.
I'm with Joe.
That's who's on the schedule. That's who's on the schedule. They were given 2 games back to back.
Dude, I 100% get it, and you can only play what's in front of you. But I'm saying we always do a thing where we hop on hype trains and we go crazy with certain things. Where, are we waiting until – because, like, 100%, Fox just said the things like Saint has had 12 steals. Like Saint has been going crazy. Like this team has been fun. It's been a defensive team. It's been nuts. It's like you said, it's been a great team to watch, very exciting team to watch, but they have not been tested yet. They have not been tested consistently yet.
Well,
So
I'll tell you one thing. It
really
doesn't matter what team they play. You can't test them at the rim at all. That team, Type is maybe the best rim protector in the league right now. I mean, 2 games in a row, he is flying around the rim, blocking shots everywhere. Dime's picking up boards, Saint getting steals. I don't know, Joe. That to me, like, I know their opponents have been bad, but in these bad games, you kind of have to look for like those modes of winning. Like, how can a team win games? And this Raptors team has proven 2 games in a row that they have a very, very clear strategy to win games. It is be hyper aggressive on defense and have Fanta and Kenny light you up with 3-point shots. That is a great, great method to win games, especially in this league, especially in a very slow Eastern Conference. Oh man, they're playing so much faster than everybody else.
Yeah, and I think like with Dime and someone like Dimes and Saint, who both have like very big chips on their shoulder, so like they're coming out playing like crazy, like they literally playing like they have something to prove. Like you would think that they're the rookies, like the way they're playing. Like you would think that. I think someone said it last night. Dime is playing like I think it was Harris actually on stream. He was like, Dime is playing like the number 1 pick again. And I think like this is the season Dime wants to quiet all of the naysayers. Like, I can do everything,
I think it's cool to watch their listen-ins and kind of see how like the team has kind of delegated itself into roles. You have Saint and Type who are like the huge defensive energy guys. You have Dimes who's calling out picks and offensive sets, helping his young point guard come along. And then you just have Kenny, who doesn't say a word. He's just locked the fuck in the whole time. And man, it's just I think we overlooked this Raptors team. I think it has nothing to do with like Saint or whatever, because I know apparently him and Champ are beefing a little bit. But I don't know, man. Like they especially, I mean, again, they're in a really easy group. So picking them to come out of this group is not a big surprise, but I'm very excited to see this team on stage. Very excited.
This is what I got to say. I want to call this team, I'm going to compare it to a roller coaster, okay? You're going to have some really high, you're going to have some highs, and you're going to have some lows, okay? I think this team is going to be, listen, I do believe they played 2 of the easier teams in the conference. Not the easiest teams, but it's a great way to start out the tournament for them. I think this was fantastic. They couldn't have asked for the 2 better teams to face against early in the tournament. But I do want to see them against like a GenG. I do want to see them against those good teams over in their conference. So it's going to be a true testament to this team. Are they really who we think they are? Like, I mean, right now the Knicks looked like horrific at that point. Like yesterday, I don't know what the hell happened. Like, not horrific. I don't want to say horrific, but after the collapse,
Malik looked good.
Malik looked good. Malik leaky on slide, right? That's what they say. God, how many times they say that? No, but like you got the Grizz in that group. You got the Magic in that group. I mean, the Hornets got to win, but I'm still not sold on that. But the Nets is the only good team in that group at this point, in my opinion. That like, and maybe the Knicks. I don't know. I don't know about Knicks, but Nets Raptors. I'll be watching. That's where I want to see. If the Raptors don't beat the Nets, then I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm not sold.
I just think the East is open, and I think that if we're really looking at like the spectrum of the Eastern Conference and looking at the teams and being like, ooh, which teams are like, how about this? If you're trying to really, really project down the line, like what are some teams that we could see in the Eastern Conference Finals, right? Again, it's 2 games. We're just having fun. The teams that you're probably like, all right, who are the Eastern Conference favorites according to Vegas? It'd probably be GenG. It'd probably be the Wizards. Third, probably tied, would be the Nets and the Raptors, just based off their first couple performances.
Don't sleep on
the Sixers.
I think. Oh yeah, the Sixers. I think would be probably in third as well. Yeah, they've only played 1 game, so it's kind of easy to forget them.
Don't sleep on the Hornets.
I think the Hornets. I don't know if I'd put them like top 5 in terms of like Vegas odds right now. Let's see them play a second game. How about that?
Yeah, okay, like
I'll take a nice deep nap on the Hornets.
Because hey, that's Champ. Look, I'm 100% with the gritty part of it. I love Big West. Crown is my guy. That's my IRL. It's always with them. But again, they do have a lot they have a lot going against them. You lost your best player. He's out indefinitely. We don't know when he's coming back. You have Glenn coming in. You're pretty much going through similar to what the Nets went through. And they pretty much played through that passion and chip, and they're going to consistently keep doing what they need to do. But we also have to see how much of that was them playing their game and doing what they needed to do, as well as the Knicks collapsing because Duck couldn't hit a shot.
I think it's both, and I also want to be the first person to officially nickname DJ and Crown the Twin Towers. Because they are very well worth the nickname. They're damn good, man. They play. I rewatched their game.
Is that the real
DJ? They play so well off of that. They have played. they played so well off of each other. Like you could just see the chemistry. You could see the communication. You could see them, discussing rotations and switching off of certain guys, and playing. I saw them in the second half, like really funnel Duck into the paint, right into DJ, right into Crown. Like I think the whole Hornets defense is really built around those two guys being able to call out switches and stuff. Yeah, and that's why I actually think, Joe, actually this is a champ. I think the game I'm actually most excited for is to see Raptors versus Hornets, because those are two teams who play, just from the games we've seen, completely opposite styles. The Hornets want to slow you down, grind you into the paint, try to, have you shoot around Crown and DJ with like the length on those power forward and center bills, whereas the Raptors, they want to speed you up. They want to get you in space. They want to get Fanta, off the dribble, getting him pinging guys in the corner. It's a very big contrast in style. So that would probably be my pick.
Interested. So the Raptors, I know we've been sitting on the Raptors for a minute, but like, what two centers has the Raptors faced so far? You have Authentic African, and who was the other one? Who was the other team they faced?
They played the Grizz and the Raps.
Yeah,
the Grizz and the Grizz.
The Raptors. Yeah, the Raptors played Magic, so Rain.
Oh, the Magic. Sorry.
Okay, so he played Rain and Authentic. I want to see him against an all 2KLeague center like shots. I want to see him against Day Fry. I want to see Dimes versus Day Fry. That is the game I want to watch. Dimes versus Day Fry.
Oh yeah, we might get Dimes versus Day Fry at center on stage.
Oh my god!
Ooh, the ultimate battle.
That's a write up right there.
Ooh.
That's crazy,
that.
bro.
I'm saving that. I'm saving that for my article this weekend, champ.
Oh,
I like that. I'm gonna start previewing that. No, that's. And tell you, man, we came into this year at the East like really not really knowing what to expect, and I think what's cool about the first couple of days is that we still have absolutely no idea what to expect with this conference. It is so weird and odd with like the wackiest lineups and stuff. It is a weird conference, and I'm very excited about it.
Listen, this is about to be corny. It's the Wild West, but it's in the East.
That is just so lame. That's so lame. Good lord.
Like, I respect it, but it's corny as hell.
Yeah, no,
that was a joke. Okay,
good effort. Good effort. Try again tomorrow.
All right, so just on the opposite side of that, we saw a fun Raptors team, and we saw Magic Gaming. They come out. They wound up getting blown out in their first game. Cap winds up finishing the game with 17 points, 5 for 9, 4 for 6 from 3. Snubby, he had 3 points. He shot 1 of 9 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3. Matty had 9 points. He shot 4 from 11 for the field, 1 for 5 from 3. May had 5 points. He shot 2 of 6 from the field and 1 of 5 from 3.
Jeez.
And Big Rain had 22 and 10, and he shot 10 of 11 from the field.
Can I ask Harris a question?
Yes, sir.
I know. Listen, there's other people in here too, guys. By the way, don't be afraid to chip in.
Yeah, if you want to request up,
request up.
Request up.
But I just want to ask Harris, how many games do you give Cap on point guard before you switch things up? And it's not. I don't think it was Cap's fault.
A lot. No. I actually today's game that he played actually gave me more confidence than I thought it would, considering the outcome.
Snubby kind of concerned me. I could not
I don't really ping it on Snubby. I don't really ping it on Matty. I don't really ping it on May. Sometimes, man, you just go up against a team that's on a crazy hot streak and you can't hit anything from 3. That's to me. That's kind of all that happened with Magic tonight.
What did Snubby finish? 1 for 9.
Yeah, he couldn't shoot from 3, but neither could Matty, and neither could May. And unfortunately, in this league, if you shoot Joe, what was their total from 3? I don't have it in front of me.
They shot 7 for 23.
You're gonna lose every game most of the time shooting 7 for 23 from 3. Like that's just kind of how this league works. But I liked what I saw out of Cap tonight in some possessions. I think that he is a smart point guard who kind of knows what he's doing out there. He's not the best scorer. He's not the best shooter, but he's definitely capable as a league point guard. And also, Rain kicks ass. Rain is still really good, which is good because if they hit threes and Cap and Rain play like that, they're going to be more competitive. But unfortunately, sometimes your 2, 3, and 4 go like 3 for 16 from 3.
Yeah.
Joe, is my math right there? 3 of 16. Those 3 guys.
Looks like 3 of 17.
3
So
of
close.
17.
Wow.
3
Yeah.
of 17 from 3. Like, I told you I was
Math.
good at algebra in high school. Dude, I'm telling you, when you sometimes if your point guard and center are playing well and the other 3 guys go 3 of 17 from 3, in the 2K League, you lose. That's just how it goes.
I think what's going to happen is Snubby could go to lock and Maddie the shooting guard and just run like a 2-ball handler system with.
That is the part that I think we need to talk about. How I think Maddie is the best player on this team, and I think it's a problem that he's at lock. But I think that is a problem that they figure out in another day. You got to give the Snubby Cap combo the full tournament and maybe a little bit more. You can't.
But Harris, we're not in a regular season.
No, you can't. You can't.
No,
you
but
got to
you gotta
give Cap and you got to give Cap and Rain more time to continue their chemistry. Again, like let me ask you, what happens instead of going 7 to 23? What if they instead go 14 to 23? That's 35 more points that they're scoring, right? Like, I think my math is right there. No, wrong. 21. That's 21 more points that they're scoring, and all of a sudden they lost by like 5. Like, it's just, I don't know if my math is 100% right there, but it's just like sometimes you just need to hit your threes. And when you don't hit your threes, you lose. It's that simple. Gallo doesn't hit that 3 tonight against the Heat. The GenG probably loses. Like, you got to hit your shots, and they just didn't.
Yeah.
Right. So let's move on. Let's keep going. Do we just want to get through the rest of the blowouts? Let's just get it out the way because we say a lot in the chat. Let's just go through Cavs T-Wolves to get it over.
Bears back.
Was he ever gone?
He's back. No, he wasn't, but he's back. When's the last time we saw Bear play like he did tonight? He played angry, man. He played like he had somebody. He was trying to really beat somebody. Does he and Rim? Does him and Rim have like some sort of funny relationship? I don't know.
No, remember they 3-1.
That's right. I guess it was the T-Wolves Cat thing. Yeah. Oh man, they split them in half. That was unbelievable. That was not fair. Poor Cavs.
Yeah. And it really does suck because, of course, they were missing Bash. Seldom did step up, but he really hasn't been playing with this team long. So I don't think, granted, you can't put as much of that on him. Yeah, he struggled. He still tried to do what he had to do. But, again, he's coming in a late game, a late situation. It's not even his full team. He hasn't even had much time in the league build. So I don't think we can really condemn him.
I have to say this, Joe. Though, like we're gonna get if we give flowers to people who came in last minute for teams, we do have to. There has to be something.
But they also didn't play point guard, champ. That's the hardest thing on the floor.
Against your and may I remind against your DPOY champ. I do believe you picked Shifty to win DPOY this year. So again, it's just
the man had 7 steals.
One team has a clear eagle eye to win the title, and the other team has a clear number one overall pick target.
Don't be wrong.
It's 2 different things.
It was a setup mission because it was a brick wall. You know what I mean? He literally ran into a brick wall. It was.
Who did look good tonight? You know who did look nice? Jaden. Or Jaden. I don't know what his actual name is, but
Jaden.
He looked nice. He had a couple really good shots, a couple good moves. He was getting kind of getting jiggy with it. It was nice. He's good. He's a good player.
Solid. I was a big fan of DJ. DJ Too Cold. I think he did a very good job filling into that power forward spot for the T-Wolves roster. They were just having fun with it. You can tell it was gritty, like going through.
Brother,
Bear
they
had
were
35,
just playing
Kai
with their
had
food,
25,
bro.
TV had 7 steals, DJ had 5 steals, Slaughter had 18 and 19.
That was ruthless, bro. They were bullying.
Yeah, that was mean. No, that was mean. They bullied him.
Tough first game for Seldom and the Cavs. It was just a tough first game. Like to draw them the game of the season is tough.
100%.
Though I do need to put this out there because I know we want to be very positive and Seldom definitely got the short end of the stick. But that game was like, I think could not have encapsulated more like the big concerns with him. Like just in general, like his stat line that he put out there, like that was a stat line that like a lot of people were really worried that he would put up. Not just against like the T-Wolves in general, but just like that style that he plays. And it was so funny, Joe, during pre-show, you and I talked about how like, I don't know when it was pre-show. I don't know who, I just remember you and I talked about this, about how like Seldom and Bear are two very different versions of the exact same player. Bear is obviously the best possible version of that player. But if you're not Bear, or you're not Sherm, or you're not like one of those elite playmaking guards, I don't know what I don't really know what chance you stand in the league. I don't know, man. Like that was the exact kind of game that everybody was worried about.
And see, like for me, what I look at is what's tough about replacement players, and this is something that we're all going to have to take into account next year when we go through this entire process. But you have these 5 or so players who are going to come in to different situations that pretty much like, all right, cool, we need you. They're getting pulled up. They're going to have to practice with teams. They probably have a small window to practice with these teams, having to hop in, learn their entire system, learn rotations, mesh, gain chemistry. It's a lot of setups. So if we have replacement players who are coming in and they're struggling at certain points, I don't think, like, granted, yes, okay, they're struggling, but I don't think we can weigh it that much because, of course, they're going to be thrown in different situations every time. We see players in years before that have been switched in rosters and lineups and all kinds of stuff, and we saw how it impacted them. And this goes for all players. Like, this is when, Mai finally starts playing. This is when, if Merck moves to a different team, Polo, he winds up moving to any of them. We have to be able to look at all of this with, we have to just be realistic with stuff because it's not easy, especially coming in as a point guard.
I get that, man. Listen, I'll hold their hand. It's okay.
But this is prime time, like 40. You got blown up by 40. It's just, I don't know.
Listen. Again, this is one game. I'm sure he's gonna have more than one game. We'll see. But like, there's been many players.
Not a regular team, bro. Nah, he goes. If he was playing against the Hawks and he played like that, that'd be different. But that T-Wolves team is different, man.
It's a contender team. Like, that's a contender team.
T-Wolves Warriors. I needed T-Wolves Warriors rematch yesterday, bro. Like, I need that matchup on stage immediately. Like, scrap the schedule tomorrow. I don't care if the studio is finished or not. Just put them on stage. Let them play a game against each other.
But I think that's the best thing.
That's
the best part, though, that they're in opposite groups because they literally will like face each other. You know what I mean? In like the studio, no matter what. Like at this point, I'm not. Listen, I don't want to put a short shot that teams are in like out of group play, but like I'm pretty confident T-Wolves and Warriors will be out of group play. We have a good chance of seeing those two teams play each other.
It's gonna be crazy though.
Hey, yeah, T-Wolves Jazz tomorrow. And to be fair, that's going to be the real test with Wolves. Okay.
Ooh, can we talk about the Jazz?
We can talk about the Jazz.
We'll jump to them then.
Pretty much, yeah, we're about to jump to them. But that's going to be the real test with T-Wolves to see exactly where they at because this is going to be the level of competition. I don't think we can crown them where they are playing the Cavs. Let's be fair. And let's also remember, if the Cavs do tank, Lab is going to go crazy with all of the high, first that he might have with that.
Yeah, but was this not the plan? Like, this was literally the plan. So that's why I'm not mad about it. Like, but they want the pick. So
I think that test against the Jazz tomorrow, who looked amazing tonight, is going to be a real test for T-Wolves to see exactly who they are as a team and vice versa. But speaking of the Jazz, let's talk about Blazers Jazz. Because that was actually a really good match.
That boy Jen loves to hit square, man. Ooh, he loves to hit that square button. He loves to shoot the ball. You see how many times he shot the ball today? He shot the ball like 21 times. I love it.
So Jen had a stat line of 39 points, 1 assist, 2 steals.
Oh, yeah.
He shot 14 from 20 from the field and 9 of 13 from 3.
There you go. That is the most Jen stat line of all time. 1 assist. 20 shot attempts. Hell yeah, Jen, you do you. That's great.
On the opposite, you had Splash with 20 points. He had 9 assists. He went 8 of 18 from the field, 4 of 12 from 3.
Is this a red flag?
What do you mean?
Is this a red flag for the Jazz?
Why do you think he was a red flag?
Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Again, listen.
What'd you see, Champ? Champ, what'd you see? We might have saw the same thing. What'd you see?
Listen. The numbers are beautiful. I think it goes exactly as planned, right? Like everything went perfect. But this is not how it's going to go against the real teams in this conference. Like, let's be honest, teams are not going to let Gen score 40 points. I don't care who you are. Like, the fact that the Blazers let a player like that score 40 on them is kind of like that. That's a huge red flag for the Blazers, but it's also a red flag for the Jazz for having that close of a game with the Blazers. I think a team like the Warriors or T-Wolves, that's not happening at all. I don't see that happening.
I would agree. I actually don't know if Jen is well, he might be part of the issue. My big issue today was that maybe the Jazz are just kind of sleepwalking through this game because they figured they were going to win, and Rhea played a great game down low and it was fun, but they still have a very similar glaring issue to what they had last year, and it was one of the reasons why they fell in the finals, and one of the reasons they kind of started off slow last year is that their hash defense for a long period of time in games will completely disappear. It doesn't really matter who's covering the hash. If it's Splash, if it's Jen, if it's Lottie, if it's whoever the heck they threw out there last year, it doesn't matter. For whatever reason, their hash defense has not been up to par. And you saw it today, man. They had that game completely in control, and then all of a sudden, here comes the Jazz has defense again, and all of a sudden Unguardable has almost 30 points, and they're down 5 with a minute to go. It was kind of crazy to watch them play because they definitely laxed off on defense in the entire second half. And the Blazers took that, and they almost came back and really surprised them. I don't know. It might just be because they were up so big and they just kind of let it slide. But the hash defense again, it's still an issue. They haven't fixed it yet, so it's kind of hard to know what this team will be like without compete. The Merc played pretty good today. I think.
But they got that's what. Guess what? They get compete against the T-Wolves tomorrow. So there's no.
Yeah, no. You want to talk about a team that you can't fuck up your hash defense against? I mean, talk about having the best hash option offensively
tomorrow
in the entire world.
Tomorrow's a true testament of Jazz gaming.
We're gonna see a lot of one-on-one matchups between Jen or Splash with Kai, and. Look, I still hate that matchup. I think they'll be able to score with anyone. But defensively, man, they need to stop late in the game against a team that has a good 2-guard. Ooh, boy. I don't know.
All right, so I just want to also state that that offensive threat, I believe that Splash is playing on. Because I think that's what he's playing on, the offensive threat, correct? Offensive threat 1. 3. That has a 48 perimeter defense.
Ooh.
So not only does it have a 48 perimeter defense, you have your only defensive badges are gold interceptor and bronze pickpocket. So you really are again. I understand Splash wants to run on the break, and they'll probably switch it up. They'll do all kinds of stuff, which it really is a liability having him up there when you don't even have pick dodge or anything. So you set those off balls, you're gonna get cooked. You're gonna get cooked. You're not going to be able to really keep up with the high-tier hash players in this league.
This is also why, and again, the Jazz have only played one game. I would love to see them kind of play a different style than just, let Splash and Jen go crazy. Man, they have 4 above-average NBA 2K League shooters, and they also have maybe the best player in the world. I would still love for them to just slow teams down and pick them apart with their talent. I would just love to see Splash and Rhea just do classic pick and roll, 4 quarters. I know it's boring, but they will boring the win. They were boring everybody to an incredible amount of wins. I'm worried that if they continue to try to play like they did tonight, every single game, which I don't think they're going to. It was just one game. But it looked like the same team last year.
Splash driving to the bucket. Jen coming pretty much rapping from one hash right to
what
the
the hell
middle
the
after
Blazers.
I
don't know what the heck the Blazers were doing, dude. I don't know what the Blazers are doing on defense. He had 21 in the first quarter. How do you let that happen? What? He's a shooting guard. He doesn't even handle the ball.
Let me ask you.
He's like Klay Thompson.
What is the all right, for both sides, Jazz Gaming, you're coming to this game. What's your strategy coming in? What are you doing to the other team?
Well, I think one of the issues with the Jazz gaming team this year, and this is also one of the issues that I have with the Pacers, is that if you look at the other really good teams in the West, all of them have a great defender away from the lock, right? Like if you're setting up picks and the team switches, right? Who are you paired up against one-on-one for the game, right? And the T-Wolves have Kai, who is basically a second lock. The Warriors have Antoine, who is basically a second lock. The Kings have Ant, who played really well tonight. He was a very good defensive player for the Mavs or for the Kings tonight, I thought. And then you look at the Jazz and the Pacers, and you kind of stare at them, and you're like, so who's playing defense when Wolf or Follow get picked off of you or switched off of you? If your answer in the playoffs is 630, who's never really been a great defensive player, or Jen, I don't know. It's one of those things where the Western Conference is so competitive and it's so close together that like these little tiny things are going to be what ends up deciding this conference. And I'm telling you, like it's going to be some tiny minuscule roster difference. And to me, it doesn't feel so tiny and minuscule when we just watched the Warriors, the T-Wolves, just completely bash around their first opponents. I'm slightly worried for the Jazz.
Thank you.
I'm worried. Not in like a I think they suck way, but in a I think they might be the third best team in the West way, and I know that's not what they want.
Yeah, no, it's not about beating the Blazers. It's about beating teams like the T-Wolves and Warriors, and we'll see tomorrow.
We get it tomorrow. Yeah, I think tomorrow just watch Kai the entire game. Watch how he attacks because he's so smart in the way that he gets open on offense and the way that he can fake out non-lock defenders. I mean, he is clinical at doing stuff like that. You'll see it tomorrow. Watch how he, if you're a casual fan out there, just watch Kai on the T-Wolves. Watch how he confuses defenders. Watch how he gets open. Watch how easily he finds open space. Nobody does it better. And he's going to rip that Jazz defense apart.
Also, watch how they pretty much try and target Splash's side in that corner because he's not really the greatest of defenders, let's be fair. He gets lost a lot. And since he doesn't have a lot of defensive badges, it's going to be easy to really pick on him. You're going to see a lot of movement, a lot of flares, a lot of motion to really be able to confuse them. And then, of course, you have Merk was in the last one, and we have to give shout out to Merk. Merk played very well.
Shouts to Merk. Did his job.
Pete coming back in, who moves from lock to power forward. So, granted, they probably have a little bit more experience playing all together, but it's still going to be different because now it's in a game setting of them all playing these different positions.
It's kind of hard to know also how this team is going to perform because we don't really know what the defensive tendencies are for a guy like Compete and Rio when they play together. Like, how much are they going to drop? How much are they going to end up switching? How high are they going to play? Like, what is their exact strategy? We don't really know yet. Mm-hmm. And I think that if you've been kind of watching 2K League defenses this year, like that has really been like the signature key has been how high is the back end pick and roll player playing and how much ground are they ceding to their center playing in the corner so that they can stop these guards from, dribbling the hell out of them. So it's it'll be interesting to see how they kind of formulate this defense against the best offense of all time. At least they were last year. So, I'm tonight worried me about the Jazz, but I also think you could chalk it up to they basically won this game in the first half and stopped trying on defense.
Yeah, potentially. So with that being said, going to the other side, what do we think about the Blazers and their performance? What do we think about Bucket? Now at PG, unguardable at the 2. Of course, we know what Randoms and Bread bring to the table. Let's talk about Rob at center. What are our initial first impressions of this team and these particular players?
I feel like everyone did their expectation. Like I think everyone played their highest potential today, like on that team. And that's a good thing. I mean, listen, they competed against a Jazz team that arguably is the top 3 team in their conference. So I have to give credit to that. I mean, unguardable with 26, Bucket with 19. Like, they had good guard play. It was a close game. Like, they had a good game against this Jazz team. So, like, this is a great takeaway. I think it's a good confidence booster. You might have lost by 3, but you lost by 3 to one of the better teams. So maybe this team is, again, I looked at this team as being a 500 team, being like an average kind of middle of the run team. And I'm still looking at them like that at this point.
I think it's very concerning that they are kind of set up in a similar way to the Jazz, and that they allowed Jen to score 39 on them. Like, I thought Randos played pretty good. I thought their paint defense was actually pretty good against Rhea, who is, again, a god. I don't know how you let Gen does one thing. He does one thing on the court, man. He dexes and shoots. That's it. That is all he does. And they had no idea how to stop it. And as you know, I was watching on my second screen because I'm trying to watch every game at once. And I feel like every time I looked over, I just saw Gen doing the exact same thing, getting open in the exact same way and shooting. And it was just, I just kind of laughed because I was like, it's just strange to see this Blazers team play this way. It was a very strange game for the Blazers. I think weird is the way that I would qualify the Blazers' first game.
I'll tell you right now, the Jazz will not want to face that Blazers team again, though. I'm saying down.
I think they will happily play that Blazers team again. I don't think that Blazers team is something super special.
By the time they play again, Unguardable will be more comfortable in the league.
That's what I'm saying.
I think Unguardable will be at point guard by the time they play again. I was stunned that they opened with Bucket there at the 1, and that's not. I mean, Bucket was okay tonight, but it's like Unguardable is clearly better. Why is he at the 2? And I also call that out for a lot of teams this year too.
But
I don't know. Why is he at the 2? And if that's what he wanted, all right, that's the 5th overall pick.
Depending on that build, who knows? We don't know.
Maybe so. But weird. Weird is what I would say to you,
Jake. Yeah,
I mean, we saw a lot of shooting guards play well today. That shooting guard build is good. I mean, those shooting guard builds aren't bad. So, maybe that was part of it, too. I feel like it was more of the build situation versus, putting Unguardable at point guard. Again, will we see Unguardable at point guard? Very likely. I think it's a very likely chance that that's going to happen, especially with this team. I don't think it will hurt the team. I think it's a good idea to kind of, see, test out both in, real game situations and not just scrims. But, yeah, I mean, I feel like I saw a lot of good shooting guard play versus point guard play. You had some point guards that played great, but I saw a lot of great shooting guards today.
Agreed.
Yeah. Shooting guard, I just think the league build overall was just fun to watch. Just as a casual fan, it was just great to watch. Maybe some of the players might hate it, but I think from the fans' perspective, the league is super interesting.
It was good. No, it's good, man. And also, the best of ones are just chef's kiss. I can't tell you, I hated the best of 3s, man. I thought they were so not demoralizing, but as a broadcaster, it's okay, wow, we just had this crazy game, all the ramification. It's no, just kidding. You're going to play 2 more. And it's really? That game was so crazy. It had so many, impacts and whatever.
I mean, but
I love it. I love
people
best
on their
ones,
toes
dude.
because,
it
of course,
demoralizes
best of 3,
people.
the better team most likely is going to win.
But
But
the Hawks lost to the Celtics. Did you see the Hawks' faces today? No, dude, they lost these best of ones, man. They are cooking people. This is crazy.
Bro, dude, the walnut face after the Kings lost, bro. I'm sorry, that's in my
Crush. We didn't even talk about the fact that Crush freaking punched the screen.
I know.
Dude, because he knew that was the game. He knew that was probably the game they had to win if they wanted to get out of the group. Because now they have to go 3-0 against the Bucks, the Warriors, and no, they already played the Warriors. It's the Bucks, the Pacers, and Dukes. Yeah, they have to go 3-0 against those teams, which is a tall task.
I like them to go at least 1 and 2.
I think they can win one of those games, but
I think they beat the Pacers going away.
I want to see the Pacers play again, man. I know that Cody Parent brought them back to the drawing board. I know they're going to come out.
I think the Warriors tomorrow.
I know they get.
I don't think it was a good idea moving 6:30 to the 2, but
Bro, he was moving. I think
he was moving shots. He was.
He had a bad shooting half, but he was sick in the second half again. He just couldn't really time. He just couldn't green anything in the first half. I don't know if there's a glitch.
He's hitting people with the dexes of hell, bro.
He claimed that there was some glitch going on. Again, we don't have enough data to verify if there is such a glitch. All I know is that in the first half, he was. Oh, here he is. Here. Let's see what he has to say. So I'm interested because he's the only person who he's the only person who's publicly said that something happened. But I just saw a guy personally we saw him have a couple halves like this last year where he was just kind of cold and he couldn't agree anything, and then all of a sudden he just woke up and won the game. So I don't know. 6:30, you're here. What's the dealio? What's up?
Bro, the league's troll, bro. They released the bill with a glitch for millions of dollars, bro. And that's what happened.
So what is the glitch? Because I you're the reigning MVP here. So if there's a glitch, what's
Bro,
going
it's
on?
when you shoot a perfect release and the shit say early or late, and you don't it's not a half bar animation. You don't break your arm, you don't break your back, and the shit just say early or late. I got 4 in a row to start the game. We start off the game down 15 points. Now we got to come all the way back. Like, shit's troll. But tomorrow a good game versus the Warriors, though. We should see. Bounce back, see how that goes.
So you think it was the glitch and not just that you just had like a bad shooting?
Bro, Harris, you serious? Are you trolling?
You've had a couple bad halves. It's okay. It happens. Everybody has
The
bad
day
halves.
I shoot 4 earlies and lates in a row, I retire from the league.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Was there anything else about that game that?
Did you guys have any connection
takeaways
at all?
Yeah.
Oh, man,
Any other takeaways?
If you're supposed to be an inside scout, we look really, really good in scrims. We win 90% of our scrims. We just got to go out there and hoop. We can beat the Warriors tomorrow.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Wait. Hold on, Champ. We're not asking the right question. He's not going to answer it, but somebody has to ask the question.
I don't know.
What have you and the team talked about in terms of Vandy passing up the open rim to pass it back out? Have you guys? No, guys. This is because remember, it's the first game of the year. This is easily bounce backable, but there's definitely like something you have to do as a team, like coming together. Again, DT's cheating down there. Sab, what did you guys talk about? Like, did he apologize? Like, are you guys okay with it? Like, have you moved on? Like, what's the vibe?
That was tough. The vibe, good, man.
It was tough. He gave up an open rim for the tie. It's tough. Like that's
how the game go, bro.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's how the game go. We don't shoot.
Look, here's all I know, Sab.
We put up 100 points and win by 20, bro.
The last person who gave up an open rim like that in a big spot, he didn't go so well in Philly. All right, that guy doesn't play in Philadelphia anymore. He's in Brooklyn. He hasn't played a game in a year. It's not good. So I hope Vandy doesn't have the same fate.
Bro, like I said, we can go out there and win by 30 tomorrow, and everybody's stunned, and we're not stunned. So, or we go out there and get popped by 30 tomorrow.
All right, man. So I got one question for you, bro. Was it your idea to move off point guard?
Yeah, I don't want to play that.
You just didn't want to play that. Billy, you didn't want to play.
Oh, you averaged 36 last year, won the MVP on PG. Why'd you move off of it?
Ask you like what?
Yeah, that shit won me $0, bro. And on defense, I have no impact. I'm in the corner, and I feel like I'm too talented of a player just to be sitting in the corner with 25 still guarding the cut. Like, shit's troll.
That's fair.
The Bills. He wanted to play on that bill. Okay, makes sense.
By the way, 6:30. You sound, at least in this version, you sound exactly like Timely Cook. Like, am I crazy here, champ? Like, do you hear it too? Do you hear that? Like, I'm definitely not.
Where
crazy.
DT at with the live, bro? Where DT at with the live, man?
You don't hear like the low and the gravelly voice, no?
No, not at all.
Bro.
Hey, man, life good.
All I'm gonna say is
that's good.
All I'm gonna say is like,
if you wondering if we was tripping over that shit, we good money, man.
That's all I was asking. If the answer is no, then I'm happy to hear. But
we believe we can win 4 straight games by 30 points every game. We hoop.
I like that.
We don't give a fuck.
The thing is, once I started seeing you shooting all these very lates, like, I was like, bro, like, someone's got to, like, took his controller or something. I don't know, bro. Like, what was going on there? Like, bro, something was going on because I was sitting there, I'm like, bro, like, he shot one. I was like, okay. Like,
nah, Chad, no funny shit, bro. You would have greened all them shits. No troll. I respect it.
Yo, that shit was bad.
6:30. Didn't you know that he beat Ramo?
Hey, man, y'all some goons at the game, bro. Y'all some goons.
Nah, bro. Look, I give y'all 100%. Like, I'm not, bro. That league build shit, seeing the badges, seeing all this stuff. Nah, y'all got that. Look, all I can do is just talk about the game. That's what I get paid to do.
Oh, don't let me get on the stick.
Nah,
all right.
Shit, I'm good. I know where my job is. I'm chilling. I get paid to talk about y'all now. That's all it is.
Oh, he's cocky now. See, champ won 2 games on the broadcast, and the man.
I don't get paid. Stick. I don't get paid to talk about them, Joe.
That's your
fault.
Sam, I'm gonna keep it 100, bro. Champ, if I was you, bro, I'll just get in the league center and just start mashing, bro.
I mean, shoot, you can be a match contender in this league, bro.
Bro, DT has sent more emojis in the past 2 minutes than anybody else has all night. DT, you played one game. Stop laughing. You played one game.
I want DT in here, bro. This man was tweeting out
Bro,
like,
DT won
yo,
one
this man
game.
won one
He
game.
won
Let's
one
go,
game,
DT.
and the Magic lost one game. And all of a sudden, the anime gifts are coming
You see his
out. The
tweets?
Joel
Yeah, this man
Embiid
was
tweet, the meme. Took one game. One game. Nah.
Hold on, the champ put it in the top.
Yep. Look at that one. DT out here like, hope it was worth it. This man's crazy, bro.
Champ, who you got winning tomorrow, bro? Champ, who you got winning, bro?
For you guys, I mean, I think you guys are gonna lose to the Warriors. I'm not gonna lie.
Respect it, bro. I respect. They some hoopers for sure.
I mean, that's a tough game, bro. It's one thing if it was against like any other team in your group. That's literally like that's a tough matchup. That's a game.
Nah, they some dogs.
I mean, in your guys' group, I could see you guys beat the Kings after seeing Walnut's face. I mean, shoot, man.
What we going 1-4, champ? That's your expert take.
No, I think you guys can still make it out of the group. I mean, I think it's
that's
possible.
my dog, bro.
I think it's possible. Here's the difference. Here's the difference between you guys. I honestly thought when we watched you guys, like, I was surprised that you guys lost that game, but also it was clear the way you guys were moving that you guys had the stick work. You just were missing wide open shots. That's all it was.
Hey, bro, Chant, that's why you should get a job, bro. You know what you're talking about, bro. I'm proud, bro. That's good.
Yeah, this troll of hell. Holy shit. And look, they're DT now, too.
Mr. MVP himself. No.
Oh, God. Here we go.
You speaking
there's no.
Just hand the 10,000 now, bro. Just give him the 10K
There's
now.
no early late glitch. It's just ass. There's no early late glitch in the Bills, bro. And listen, bro, I'm smiling ear to ear, bro. I'm laughing. I can't laugh, fella. I can't laugh. One thing I'll say, man, one man's trash is another man's treasure, and I guess I was the trash.
Well, that's definitely true. I mean, we knew
But DT, aren't you happy where you're at now, though?
I'm smiling ear. I got Andre Marshall as my goddamn point guard, bro. I'm smiling ear to ear.
He's good. Hey, as some nerdy shit. As of right now, he's leading everybody in 2KR.
He had 30. I seen him just have 30 and 12 with zero turnovers while getting doubled, bro. I'm good right where I'm at.
Hey, you forget about Dre, but So DT, let us know. Come on, be real, be open. I know your coach is in the chat, so I don't know how much you're trying to say. But
oh god,
yeah, you guys won. Your old team lost. They got blown out. How you feel about that?
I won't speak about them, man, but that's a big dub from us, man. We fought back. We showed heart. That's all I care about.
All right, Jeff, get out the chat. Just leave. Come on.
All right, it has nothing. Listen, man. Shit happened behind closed doors. Not everyone knows the details. Obviously, I know them, so I'm gonna say what I want. So,
is this a one tweet thing, or is this every single time they lose?
Listen, bro. I'm still cool with all most of the players on the team. All the players on the team, I'm still cool with, but.
No, you said most.
No, I'm still cool with all. I don't know why I just said most. Truthfully, I'm still cool with all of them. It's just, like I said, shit happened behind closed doors, and one man's trash is another man's treasure. I'm worried about my team. That's what I'm worried about. And we're 1-0.
When do you guys play next?
When do you play next? We got a game versus Celtics tomorrow. They look good versus the Hawks.
Ooh.
So we got to come in locked, take care of business.
Everybody
Dude, it's a little DT versus bully action, a little throwback to season 2 matchup. Gotta love
it's more.
Gotta love the
I'm not gonna lie,
matchup.
it's more me versus Colt, man. That's one of my closest.
Okay.
That's one of my closest.
That's right, the HT.
That's one of my closest friends, man. I gotta work him out, man.
Your pre-draft teammate too.
So. I'm pumped to see Tezo versus Dre. Tezo looks like
it should be a good game. I'm like this. No troll. I'm actually super excited for it. Like it should be a very fun game. So.
Do you like the best of 1, or do you like the best of 3 better?
Best of 1 just is super reminds me of season 2, and I feel like that was the best year we've had. I think this year's gonna be good, but out of the 4 years we went through, I think season 2 was the best, and it was a best of 1. And I think it allows teams who are like not necessarily better than the team they're playing to pull out a win, which is always fun, like March Madness style type thing. But I do think
after the way they're doing it, where it's best of 1 first round, and then after that it's best of 3. I think that is the best way because the best team should make it all the way.
I just like the best of 1 because it just makes when the clock hits 0-0 and the game is over and you lost the best of 1. I mean, you see in their faces, man. It's just demoralizing. I love it. It's terrible to say.
It makes every possession count more. It's not like you can't just go out there and just take a quarter off because if you take a quarter off, you're gonna get flooded and lose.
Like in the best of 1, Gallo hitting that shot against the Heat tonight, like that's a big shot. Like that's a shot that we're gonna keep.
Yeah.
That's gonna be on the highlight reel at the end of the year. Like, it makes this stuff matter more. I love it.
Especially if you're in for teams that get down early, you're gonna see if they really have heart. Because a lot of teams last year were if you got down early in game 1, they were just chalk game 1 onto game 2 type of thing. You can't do that this year. You gotta fight through it. And that was like I said, that was one of the biggest things that I really liked about our win versus the Heat is we felt like we were supposed to beat them. They came out, punched us in the mouth, and we just fought back. And we had, I think the fourth quarter was 26-5 or something like that. You don't see stuff
you guys went crazy.
Especially and I feel like the league is the most competitive it's ever been. I feel like most or 95% of the talent is in the league now. So to go on a run like that versus another team that I think the Heat are way better than what people are giving them credit for.
That's a fact. Too.
So to go out there and do that to a team and hold them to 15 points in the second half total and 5 in the fourth, I think we showed a lot of heart. That's one of the biggest things I was worried about. So
here, I got a nerdy stat for you, DT. If you obviously remove, it's kind of hard to do this. Take out the Kings and take out the Heat, who are both 0-2. The other teams in Indianapolis right now are 6-0. Have you enjoyed playing in Indianapolis? What's it been like? How is it different from the last 2 years of remote? Because I don't think we've talked enough about how different of an environment you guys are playing in versus the past couple of years.
I think I actually really like the thing where because there are a bunch of teams here, so and the setup is a little weird, but tomorrow it's gonna be different for us tomorrow than it was versus the Heat because our room is right next to the Celtics room. So
are you gonna get the wall?
No shit.
Are you gonna hit the wall?
Yeah, and you when the Celtics when the Celtics were playing the Hawks.
Oh, they're loud.
You could hear Colt was yelling. Obviously, even Ducks is a little bit down the hall from us, and we heard them. So we're gonna be right next to each other, and we're just gonna be screaming through the wall at each other. So it's gonna be
can we please get cameras in there of that? I need cameras of that.
We do have cameras, man. We got the.
No, I need a camera of DT hitting the wall.
I'm not gonna punch the wall, bro.
Jesus makes sure that God himself literally hears him every single game that he plays.
It should be fun. Like I said, I think this is gonna be one of my most fun games because of who I'm because it's Colt and me and him always show each other, so it should be a fun one. I'm excited.
So do you have any particular trolls, ready, locked and loaded?
Yeah. It won't be on the timeline because that's one of my closest friends is my brother, but it'll definitely be on his phone.
That's what's up.
I see Sav laughing down there. Look, the HG, that crew, the HG crew runs tight.
HG crew runs tight, man. It's through our blood.
Have you been consoling Glow through his brutal loss the other night? Have you talked to him? How are the Knicks doing? Actually? I'd love to know that.
I think they're straight, man. They're a good team. Okay. I think they'll bounce back.
Gotta
hope for sure.
Would be a sad out. Anybody else in the who's been your favorite team to watch so far, DT? Because I know that you're kind of
GenG. Listen, man. If you don't know now,
we want to get your answers too, man. You being a little quiet over here. You quested up. You're not saying anything.
GenG is probably my favorite team to watch. The one power forward in the league, and I've said this before on the time and stuff like that. I love watching Don. I think
dude, he's been crazy this year.
Man. He didn't get to play his position last year, and I've known he's been like that at power forward, and he reminds me so much of myself, on offense and defense. That's why I like his game so much, and I actually learned shit from watching him. So.
No, Don's great. Feast looks great too. Had a nice 0.16 rebound first game of the year.
I mean, when your guard scores 60, do you really got to score?
No, you ain't got enough. Do you? So now that with GenG, what do you make of Gallo? Because we've had a lot of really.
That kid's a stud, man. That kid is a hooper.
he's really like unique. Also, like I was talking about this with somebody in a group chat. Like, I don't even think there's a guard that you can kind of compare him to in terms of like just style. Like, he's just kind of like a combination of a lot of different guys.
He's one of the few point guards that was polished before coming in the league. His game was polished. Like, a lot of the point guards are like super score heavy, like not really polished. They can get a bucket, stuff like that. But he was polished coming into the league. So I'm excited to play him, man. It should be a fun game. I'm excited.
He played the game to death. Also, I would love to know how many games he actually put into 2K, or how many hours he put into 2K22, because it's gotta be.
I will say though, Gal's my boy, and I think he's a god. But last time I did play him, I graded him out. So.
Ooh.
Look, he's talking about stuff that happened patch 1, bro. Anybody can play like this.
No way.
I don't know, man. Gallo feels like the guy to not mess with in the league. I remember when he came on BFW Live with Joe and I, he literally talked about how he's like, he literally said he had the Wizards circled because he wanted to go up against Awkward. He said he watched so much film against them that he was just ready to play them. And then of course game 1, he had 31-8 against them. So it's like, I don't know. I'm a little.
No, I think this year is going to be really good because of the competition. Like I said, I think the competition is at its highest it's ever been, and like I'm not gonna say any team can beat anyone because we've seen some pretty bad teams. I'm not gonna lie. But
is this the best league build we've ever had?
No. I think it's the best in season 2. I think season 2 was I don't think that game was just so balanced. I feel like after it wasn't balanced at first, but when the dribble glitch came out where you couldn't get plucks, then it was balanced. So, but I think this game is like the best since then because it's not like last year was super offensive. You could grain from half court, fades, all that. Season 3 was point guards going to the paint and hook shotting. And then, like this year, I feel like this year I feel like if you go up against a team and they're not playing good defense, you can pop them. And if you go up against a team and you're playing good defense, you can literally cage them. So like it's all on your team. It's not really on the game.
I think also it's going to be really cool on stage. This feels like a build that on stage is going to be really, really fun to watch. Like, it's, the best of one. Everyone's going to be.
That's the one thing I'm most excited for, man. Getting back to the stage.
Oh yeah.
Ready to see the DT trash talk, you know?
I haven't been there since season 2, man.
Yeah, you think anyone's gonna crack on the stage? Like, just the stage is gonna be too much for them?
I don't think anyone's gonna crack. I think people do overrate the stage a little bit. Like, I think people like over exaggerate how crazy it is. Like, we're playing 2K. I don't think any like point guard is just gonna go out there and absolutely shit the bed like because other people.
Well, it's happened before, DT, and it will happen again.
I think it will happen, but I think it won't happen like as much. I don't think like
that's fair.
I mean, I don't think it happens a lot. Like
we're gonna have a lot of stage data this year. That's what I'm really excited about. Like we're gonna really
the one thing I will say though, everyone plays way tighter in those games. I don't know, like
for sure.
I don't think anyone's gonna get checked out, but
I was gonna say you can't underrate the mental aspect of it. Like if you got somebody like Ramo just screaming at you as you guys are playing. Like
Ramo's playing on the stage too. Some of these guys have never played on the stage.
Yeah.
Some people
got somebody like Ramo just screaming.
It's more like the way I think about it, bro. If you're confident in your own game, like okay, I'll say Gallo. Okay, Gallo's never played on stage. He's elite at the game. He's gonna go there like. And, like, let's say he's having a rough game. Like, I don't think someone would rattle him. I think he would just, like, pick it up. You know what I mean?
People don't get necessarily rattled, but they get trapped in, like, the trash talk. Like, they get stuck, like, they get...
I agree with that. I agree.
They get stuck in the moment.
Yeah, people get caught up with the trash talk and stop worrying about the game. I'll agree with that. I just don't think...
He hasn't played on the league stage, but he's played on the UPA stage, and he performed.
Okay, let me ask y'all this. Y'all think Kai folded on stage last year? I just think he missed open. I don't think he folded.
I think that
I'll
just
say
this.
Schemed the shit out of him.
Yep. I think they're the fucking evil empire. I think they just realize that if they can take Kai out of his game, and stop.
That's my point. Like I've heard people say he folded and this and that. Like, bro, he just.
I mean, he did play very poorly. Yeah, I know.
But that's what I'm saying. People have bad games. Yeah, you don't want it to be on stage because then you get that stigma. But like,
I don't
that's
think
the
it,
point, right? But he's rectified that since. Like he was great
yeah, I
during the
agree,
All-Star
but
game,
that's what I'm
fucking
saying.
dominating everybody
I'm
in
just saying
Vegas.
I don't think people go there and like every bad game someone has is because it's on the stage. I think people just
Oh
have
no,
bad
I don't
games.
think he was bad because of the stage. I think he was bad because he was just bad. Like he just had a really bad
Yeah,
playoffs.
that's what I'm saying. People
Yeah,
have
it
bad
happens,
games.
right? Like,
It is
but
what it is.
yeah, I think it's going to be this year's stage is going to be fun because remember we're going to have 6 weeks of
We're gonna have 2 games
on
going on at
stage
the same time.
play. 3 weeks of that's going to be 5v5. 3 will be 3v3 before the playoffs even start. So like we're going to have like a lot of like comprehensive data of like is there a difference? Do people play tighter? Is there a true scoring difference in terms of like how often people are scoring? Is there more defense? Like we'll have pace numbers. Like there's going to be a lot of interesting data that we're going to get
The
from
one
this that we
thing
haven't gotten in years.
the one thing I found interesting was last year in the playoffs when there was 2 stages and there's crazy trash talk going on in another game and people literally from the other game got distracted. I remember watching and people were turning around watching the game like seeing people screaming behind them, just getting distracted by like the screaming behind them. So like that type of atmosphere with 2 stages, like that's a different dynamic. And I'm not saying it's gonna like completely alter things, but it's definitely like a distraction in its own, and it makes it a lot harder. And like hearing each other if it's loud, like that's the one thing that I remember with the Knicks. And as much as people want to like season 1, bro, like that you could not hear yourself. Like I remember like people trying to scream to each other and like cover their mics so they could hear each other because it was so loud in the studio. Like you couldn't hear because it was a small studio and you couldn't
We had
hear each other.
some moments like that in season 2 also where it just got like so crazy loud in there you couldn't even hear yourself think. It was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, DT, random question. We'll bring this full circle because this was something that Joe, Champ, and I all had 3 different opinions on. What do you make of the Raptors? Do you think they're actually good, or do you think they've only played well because they played, I guess, what would we would deem right now as lesser than good teams?
Obviously they played probably. I'm not gonna say the weaker because again it's been 2 games. I'm not gonna say yeah, but no, I think they're hooping, bro. You don't go out there and beat teams like that, like just because they're bad. You know what I mean? You're obviously doing something good. If you beat a team by 26 and beat a team, I think they beat the Grizz by like 16 or something. Like you're obviously doing something good on the court, and it's not just the other team doing everything bad. I do think they're better than what people give them credit for, but again, we have to see. Like they're hot right now. So these 2 like games might carry over into the next 3. So I do think they have a lot of good players. Though I think Type is very comfortable in the pick and roll because he's done it before on center.
He looks like old Type again, DT.
Yeah,
oh boy.
He's very comfortable on the pick and roll. Dimes is hooping. A lot of people don't want to give Dimes his credit. He's hooping the past 2 games. Yeah, he might not have went against the best teams in the world, but he's hooping. You can't take that away from him. And Fana looked good too. So and I'm not gonna lie, Saint looks elite right now. So
yeah,
he was mad. He was pissed the fuck off.
Yeah,
Kept talking all this shit on him on the
He's
timeline.
mad, man.
He out here to prove a point.
He's playing with.
Don't even speak on it, bro. Don't even speak on it, bro.
Oh my god, bro.
No. Let's because I feel horrible because we've been waiting this entire time. This man's pretty much been here from the beginning, and we've still yet to talk about this game. So let's talk Kings versus Mavs.
Oh God.
Let's just talk about this game. Then we can get insight from Chris. Hopefully he just didn't pass the hell out while he's on the mic. It can happen.
He's been here. He's been chilling.
He hasn't said it.
Yeah, he hasn't said one
You
word
guys
at
started
all.
talking about all these other teams. I was waiting for the Mavs discussion. I was.
We talked about. We gave the Mavs their flowers tonight. We talked about them.
I was already. I kept DMing Joe. I'm like, how do I get on the? How does my tweet get on the screen? I want my tweet to be on the screen. I didn't get on the screen.
Which one do you want?
You got on there.
I got on. Let's go. I was like, man, I'm not
you
followed
have
by
to win
the
a
league.
game in the league first.
You're on a new level.
That's all it is.
Yeah, that was the thing. I had to win a game, so that's fair. That's fair. I was about to get on the mic. People were talking about boss. I was about to get on the mic, but
Scale 1 to 10. Scale 1 to 10. How? I guess I don't know. What's the proper way to put this? What did you make of Zay's performance tonight? Scale 1 to 10.
Scale 1 to 10. I'll give him a 10.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Look. I think so. This is the thing. Is do I think we played? I don't think you've seen the best of the Mavs. I mean, I think you guys have all your scrim intel, and I'll leave you to your scrim intel. But I think we played, very well. Coming off, like having 3 rookies and coming off a poor season. I think we've done well. We were where we wanted to be, and we didn't play a good game against the Bucks. And that happens. And as a coach, like the number one thing you want to see is how we're going to respond to that, right? Did we play our best game tonight? I don't think so, but we got the win. And I think one thing I'm definitely very, very proud of us is I think the make of a pretty solid team is being able to win without playing your best game. And so I'm hoping, we can continue to put pieces together and continue to keep building on a one-on-one start. And we're definitely in a very, very tough group with some very, very talented teams and some very, very talented players. So we minimize the damage tonight, gave ourselves a fighting chance. Nobody wants to be 0-2 going into next week. And I think we did a good job.
Can I ask the question that some people might be curious about? What happened in the middle of that game? Like the first game, obviously, where you had the situation. Like,
what happened?
What you guys got to elaborate? The middle of the first game? What situation?
No, when the game started, Ant hit that 3.
Yeah.
Kings went up like 5-0 or 6-0, and then all of a sudden, like the game just ended. Was there just like a normal lag out? Like what happened? We didn't hear anything.
They shouldn't even have cut to that in the thing. So we were just testing the internet. So before the game even started, like before we even got into the we were just like not shooting around. We were just testing the connection because right before the game started, we completely lagged out. Meaning I have like a assistant coach PC in the back that I keep stats on. Like that went dark too. So our entire internet cut for the whole facility.
Wonderful.
And so I did like a connection test and we came back, but sometimes the latency, like when we shoot a jump shot, it just gives us like very early after very early. So we were just testing real quick that everything was actually working.
Makes sense to me. Champ?
Yeah. We just had to test that everything was working because we didn't want to load up and then these guys felt like it was green, and then it was just like very early or very late or something.
Well, you know what? That's why I asked the question because I think it's important that we get that out there so people know about that. So that sounds good to me.
Here's a question for you, Mr. Mavs offensive coordinator. What happened in game 1? Why was the offense so bad?
I think a lot of it just had to do with it's not an excuse at all, but first game for a lot of people, including me.
All excuses are reasons. Everything's valid here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is the first game for a lot of people, and do I think it's nerves? I don't think it's so much nerves as much as this like an anxiousness, and honestly, I'll take the blame for it as well. Like it was my first game in the league as well. I mean, as offensive coordinator, I'm the guy on the mic that should have been changing stuff up, and it definitely could have done a better job of that as well. Everyone's first game in the league. We got 2 rookie guards, and I don't think they're nervous, but I think you come out and it's the first professional anything. I mean, I was telling these guys I played college baseball, and I remember my first start. I can't even remember it. I blacked out, and so it just it happens. It's a long season. The more games we play, I think the more that goes away. Honestly.
So can I ask you a question that Harris has been very critical about you guys trading the number 1 pick. It's been kind of a conversation that constantly gets brought up. What are your thoughts, seeing obviously Gallo go out today and basically look like, I want to say this, 630 2.0, the way he's going out with this rookie campaign right now so far. Is there any type and I know that you're going to give me the the straight answer of we're happy with our players, but what are your thoughts on Gallo so far?
Gallo's been absolutely killing it, and trading number 1 pick was never a knock on Gallo. Gallo is a phenomenal player. I mean, and now that the interviews are over, I can say stuff like his work ethic is next to none. I don't think I've ever seen anyone, and I mean Len could definitely corroborate this, just kind of just be so analytical and work to get better. He has an obsession with getting better, which is amazing. For us, complete transparency, we had 4 new players we had to bring to Dallas. It was a tough situation. We thought we were going to have, 2 guys coming back. It only ended up being 1 guy coming back. That was our center. We have to completely retool the entire team, and Gallo is absolutely crushing it. And, anybody that says, he wouldn't be a positive addition to their team is either delusional or a liar. And I'm not neither of those things. but we had to come out and, it wasn't just about number one for us. We ended up with 2 top 10 picks. So being able to do that was a major factor in some of the decision making we made. But at the end of the day, man, I mean, he's got to give the guy his flowers. He's a phenomenal player. And it's not like we, obviously didn't want him. We would have loved to have him. We just we knew we probably needed more than just one guy, if that makes sense.
I'll be interested to see what happens next year, because obviously the way you guys got 6 and 8 was to trade the future first. So it'll be Gallo plus whoever that future first is compared to Kenny and Zay. So the jury is out. You have a year. The jury is at least out for another season and a half.
Yeah, no, look, the
we'll
way
come
we
back
look
to
at
it in 2
it
years.
is if we do our jobs right, that future first is, almost negligible, if that makes sense, So definitely like the team we have here, definitely like the players we have here. Definitely think there's a lot to build on for sure, but I think we did a good job tonight. Hopefully we can keep it going. And, I mean, it makes sense. Jury should still be on that. But, if I do my job right and we continue to hopefully build on what we've got, that shouldn't be keeping us up at night.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm saying
go ahead.
that that game down the stretch, but then Kenny started getting going. I think he hit a shot to tie the game to end the third quarter, and then he just kind of got it going in the fourth. I think that kind of that answered those questions. Like he's starting to figure it out, because you see Gallo just come out and have it from the beginning, and Kenny, and I think Kenny is he's starting to figure it out, and I think that kind of he's starting to answer those questions. You guys could have had Gallo, but Kenny's gonna be okay. He's gonna be a good guard.
Yeah, I think this is the thing, and Kenny is only going to get better, and he's going to be the first guy to tell you. I mean, he puts in the work. We had a guard session where we were staying for 4 or 5 hours after practice, just going through reads, going through everything that we go through from a coaching perspective, and these guys put in the work on an everyday basis. Kenny will be the first to tell you he didn't come out that first half in his debut and play the way that he wanted to. And he's not gonna say, "Oh, it was this or it was that." He'll put his hand up and say, "It was my fault, and I've got to be better." At the end of the day, we do have to be better. But the thing is, I think even tonight, he played well, but I don't think he played to his full potential. I don't think he thinks he played to his full potential. And being able to win games where he doesn't makes me, as an offensive coordinator, especially happy, because I know we haven't seen the best of Kenny, and when we see the best of Kenny, I know it's gonna be really tough to beat us.
Okay, hang on. I have a really important question. What is it like coaching Jerry?
Oh God,
I love coaching Jerry, man. That guy is ridiculously passionate about 2K. Holds people accountable. I mean, at the end of the day, my number one thing as a coach is I would be mad if they didn't care. You know what I mean? If you're willing to take losses, then you can't be a professional at anything. Jerry wants to be the best at his craft. And he's passionate about that, and I think we appreciate him for it. I mean, look, the guy has been. Champ, it was you that said he's going to lead the league in triple doubles, right?
Yeah.
So you don't get to be like that in anything professional. You don't get to be the top of your craft at anything professional by not caring. And at the end of the day, I think he's only I don't think people have said, oh, he's a detriment to this, he's a detriment to that. I think he's a positive addition to the locker room. I think he's a positive addition to the rookies. He's a guy that gets it done, and also is consistent and dependable. At the end of the day, that's all you can really ask for as a coach.
Yeah, I respect it. Only other thing I'd ask is, what was it like losing your first game to a former guy that was a part of Liquid, Johnny Red?
Definitely not great, but
oh, that's a good one. That's a spicy one.
I mean, Johnny's a phenomenal player. I think losing I wasn't really I wouldn't really look at it like that. It was kind of I feel like we just didn't play to the fullest of our potential.
That's a double down on a good question. Why didn't you guys end up taking Johnny? You guys had a good relationship. You won a title together in Dallas, and it kind of seemed the Liquid homecoming, and then it just never really, I guess, matriculated into anything.
I mean, he went fourth overall, I believe. Yeah. We had 3 and 6.
You had 1.
Well, we had 1. Yeah, we had first overall. That's don't get me wrong, but that's what I'm saying is you guys are saying, oh well, why don't we take Gallo? 2K, you need to put together a team. You know, you have to put together like we don't know what situation these guys would be in if it was just them or just them and Jerry or whatever the case may be. So we were looking to put together the strongest team, not just this year, but for years going forward as well. You know, at the end of the day, one of our goals was to, you know, be able to retain our nucleus year after year after year. You know, you watch the T-Wolves do it. You watch good teams do it. You watch the Wizards do it every single year. They have a nucleus to build around. Good teams, I should say great teams, have a nucleus to build around. So having that nucleus, especially this year, was especially important to us. So, I mean, look, I'll say it for Gal, I'll say it for Johnny as well. Any coach that doesn't want them on a team is either delusional or a liar. And if we could have those guys, it would be amazing. Putting us in a position to hopefully get 2 game changers and not just one was very important to us.
Yeah. Well, I respect it.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I would take Cal. No, I'm kidding.
So we've been at this for a while now. It's it's 1:25 in the morning.
Hold on, wait. Somebody requested to speak. Mr. Steven Carranza. Do you have something to say? Oh no, he went back to a listener. Never mind. I tried.
Man. Hey man, my boy Big West is in here now, man. Like I said earlier, man, don't sleep on the Hornets, man.
No, wait.
Oh, actually, hold on. Before we leave, Big West, come here.
West, please.
Big West, come
please
here.
hold on. Can I invite him to talk? Can I invite him? Yes, I can.
No.
Can I invite him to speak? Come on.
It's here. Big
Come
West.
on.
Come talk your shit, Big
Come
West.
on, West.
He's like,
Let's
I ain't got
go.
too much to say, but you know, we got to get our things together.
Man.
You know, we got lots of work on, all right.
Come on,
we out here, you know, on the front of the car, all right. That's what we doing right now. No,
he's definitely not going to.
I'm just gonna keep spamming West till he comes up here. Let's try and tag him on the timeline. Let's peer pressure.
My phone's at 1%. We're good. My phone's about to die.
Oh, it's all good. Don't worry. This space is recorded, so we'll just send it back to you, champ. Because somebody was ducking the timeline last night. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, by the way, do you know who we do get to watch play tomorrow?
What's that?
Lakers gaming.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Coming off a 3-25 season, we get to see them against basically the Lakers gaming of this season, which will be Cavs. They're just going to absorb losses. So the Lakers get they get a cushy little first opponent to open up with this new roster. I'm excited.
But
look, it's not your daddy's Lakers. Come on, man.
It's not your wait, no. Oh God.
Okay, that's
like,
horrible.
You did
word.
not do that.
No. Oh
God. This is why.
This
is why you leave out.
I'm falling asleep. Big pause. But look, it's Nacho's team. It's not the old team. Excited to see what Reg brings to the table here.
I think
excited to see
the best version of Reg.
You think so?
Yeah, I think.
See, you know what? I need you around when I'm doing full predictions. All right.
No, man. Reg is hungry, man. Reg is hungry, bro.
He's hungry, but he might starve in the Western Conference. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But let's also be fair.
Oh God!
They play what is this? That's Tuesday. I'm a week ahead. Shoot, I'm scrolling.
He's gonna starve. Sheesh.
I'm falling asleep. Yeah, they play the Cavs tomorrow. It's a comeback game for Seldom. That entire team.
Man.
I'm
not gonna lie. We have bangers across the board tomorrow.
I don't
Cavs
think
Lake.
Gonna play much better tomorrow against the Lakers.
You said what
was that?
I don't think he's gonna play much better against the Lakers. Crazy's no knock against Seldom, right? But Crazy's gonna come out and attack him, especially with what he saw today. He's gonna attack him. He's not gonna let him. Crazy's not gonna let him have his first good game against him.
I mean, Crazy not the one guarding him, is he? That's top, most likely.
What do you guys think about the setup tomorrow? Games start every 15 minutes instead.
Well, it's great because here let's finish on the schedule, Joe, because the schedule for tomorrow is freaking nuts. Mm-hmm. So you get Cavs Lakers at 7. You get Pacers Warriors at 7:15. Jazz T-Wolves at 7:30. Knicks Magic at 7:45, and that's just the first half. Mm-hmm. Nets Hornets at 8. Pistons Blazers at 8:15, and then Sixers Celtics as the nightcap. We really don't have a bad game in the bunch.
I think it's pretty balanced. It's fun. It's gonna be gritty teams, man. Best of one.
The two quote unquote worst games are probably the quote Pistons Blazers, but we get to see the Pistons for the first time, and then the Cavs Lakers, but we get to watch the Lakers for the first time. So rectify.
It's gonna be interesting, and it's bounce past Thursday, right?
Oh yeah, I'll be sending everybody around tomorrow. But yeah, Cavs Lakers, Pacers Dubs opening up tomorrow.
I'm excited. I mean, hey, we just did the schedule. Everybody knows where it is. You can hit the 2K League Twitch, blah, blah, blah. There's all the promotion. Again, it's 1:30 in the morning. Congratulations to everybody who, secured their dubs tonight. To those who didn't win, you still have multiple games to play. It's a long season. It's exciting so far. And, yeah, if you're interested in doing content, hit us up. We always need more content.
Yeah, I got a question, bro. Wait, I'm looking at your graphic here, right? So you predicted in Group D that the Magic, the Knicks, the Raptors, and the Nets were coming out?
Yeah.
So you're like really, really sleep on the Hornets.
Oh yeah, listen, I'm in a coma still with that team.
Okay, so you
the Spacers. No,
Big
it's
West,
over. And the
this
Spacers.
one's recorded, by the way.
And
no
the Spacers.
way.
We're done. I'm going to bed. And the Spacers. Man just said he's in a coma. I'm going
It's
to bed.
been fun,
We're
y'all.
done. We're out
This
of here.
has been great. Y'all can catch all the games there. Have all the ammo. Make content.
Good night,
do your thing. Have fun. Good night, everybody. Peace.
Good night.